He's got this plan. Can you tell Campbell your plan?
What's your plan, James? Is it creepy?
I want to crash a wedding on Saturday night, and I need a date to go with me to pretend to be my wife.
So he's trying to get Kirsty.
Yeah, trying to get Kirsty to it, because...
He's creeping. Who's the girl that you're trying to creep on? The wedding woman?
No, it's the sister of the bride. The sister of the bride.
So why do you think having a wife would make you more desirable to this woman?
Because turning up alone as a crasher is just... You'll never get away with it, Fred. You turn up and you're like, yeah, we're
this
friends
is my
with the...
wife. Yeah. Okay.
We're friends with the family.
Go fuck off, wife. I'm going to try and...
We're friends with the family.
Chick on the dance floor.
And we would have to come up with a backstory. We would have... Me and Kirsty would have to come up with a whole backstory. And then, like, imagine the story we'll tell on the podcast on Monday about how it went.
Is it about you getting a story? Are you trying to hook up with
No. I need to meet up with this girl.
Yeah, well, it's all... Yeah.
No, because I can't hook up with her because that would defeat the purpose of going to this wedding in the first place if I was hooking up with another girl.
Well, why don't you
go...
Why don't you cut out the whole wedding hijinks and just hook up with...
No, because I only know... This is the only time I'll know she'll be at this place because this is his wedding. Because she doesn't have Facebook, doesn't have phone numbers or anything. She's off the radar.
Well, I think you should turn up alone.
She only pops up, every few months at a certain place I know, and this is one of them. And
Who's this girl? How often have you seen her? Or is this going to be
like
weird?
every night through the bushes?
I don't know where she. If I knew where she lived, I could send her a letter or something.
I don't understand. I think if you're going to do, I think the whole thing's a terrible idea. But I think doing it with a fake date is even worse.
No, because you have to have some kind of backup. Like you have to have a wingman, Fred. And she's going to the races, so she's going to be dressed up for like a wedding anyway.
Yeah, she's also a super. We're not live, are we? Is this something you want to do so you can tell everyone about it, or is this something you actually just want to do because you want to hook up with this girl?
No, I'm telling you.
If you want to hook up with a girl, this is not the way to go about it.
Yes,
if
it
you
is.
want to give you a story, then yes,
it's a good idea, but you're going to piss off a lot of people along the way.
How am I going to piss off anyone?
Nobody wants you to crash their wedding.
I'm not going to turn up and smash it up or anything. I'm not going after the bride and saying stop the wedding. No, I'm just going there.
Drink their drinks.
But how does it matter?
No, because they spent like $1,000 in alcohol and some bum just like turns up and drinks the guests' drinks.
Right, and you look at my 21st Bryony's thing. People were just Bryony's things were just popping corks, having one sip, and leaving it around. And there was no crashes.
It makes it okay for you.
There's always leftovers.
That's not the point. You're not invited.
I'm not there to get pissed. I'm not like I'm not turning up to get pissed. I'm not like some crasher that's dodgy.
You're there to like drink the alcohol and scam and skis with a fake date all over the bride's sister. How is that not the dodgiest thing on the fucking planet?
I'm not meant to be dodgy. Look, I think we articulated perfectly. If you want a crazy good story, this is one. If you want to build some sort of a relationship with this girl, this is a terrible way.
No, it's a better way than... It would be creepy if I turned up alone and was like, how's it going?
So you want to turn up with a fake wife?
Fine. Yeah. If I turned up with a fake wife to his wedding and pulled off, this girl would be really impressed.
No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. What makes you think that? Just think about it when you tell her.
Why do you think about it? You're just being negative.
I've been trying to be real, Jay.
Your idea is just like do nothing.
No, mine is just normal.
This is that movie moment, a thing where you turn up and you got this plan, hijinks ensue. And it's not you think it's going to hurt someone, but who's it hurting? No one.
The bride, this woman, Kirsty, and yourself.
How's it going to hurt Kirsty? She'll think it's a laugh.
I don't think she wants to go. So forget about Kirsty.
Have you asked her?
The bride's going to be pissed off that someone she doesn't know turns up to her wedding. This girl is going to be like, what the fuck? This guy I've met once is turning up to my wedding with a fake wife and drinking my alcohol.
But if the wedding's big enough, I can
it's not going to happen, so you're going to be sad.
And once people are on the dance floor, no one knows what's going on. It's a chaos.
So you're dancing on this dance floor with your fake wife, with Kirsty.
It's not like when
and then you see this girl, and so you just like push Kirsty off at the side, and you're like, go and dance with this girl, and she's like, hey James,
Yeah.
why do you think you're invited? Why the hell are you here? And you're like, oh, I'm here with my wife, and she's like, oh, when did you two get married? And you're like, June, and she's like, oh, in July. And you're like, oh no, I mean in like October, and then she's like, oh yeah, James.
Yeah.
Fuck your
exactly
wife!
what
I love cheating on people, even though this wife thing's really dubious. And
No,
with me.
no,
Doesn't
you
make any
just
sense.
set the seed. Or have to turn up, get some form of contact, so later on she's like, oh, we should
This
hang
dude's
out.
married.
Fun,
She thinks you're married, though.
fun, but like, who cares? That's even better because you say, oh, at the night you talk happy, and the next time you meet, you're like, you get together alone, you're just hanging out as friends because she's not defensive because she knows you're married.
Sorry, that's when it gets crazy.
No.
She said you got
And then you're like,
she thinks you're
oh,
your
my
friend.
relationship with Kirsty's just not working out. It's a bit weird. I don't know how it's going to go.
Oh, that shit with my wife's not working. It's a bit weird.
So I think
Yeah.
we should bang.
It's not, and so you're setting the seeds, and eventually you create the divorce of Kirsty, right? It's a long-term project for a year, and then you just, it goes back to normal.
If you're going to insist on crashing, you should just turn up by yourself.
No! Why? That would never work. That's so dodgy that one guy turns up alone, but no one
You turn up.
No
you
one
don't
except
drink any
the
of the
closest-
alcohol.
No one except the closest friends turn up single.
Yeah, I agree. I think you'd be less suspicious if you had someone with you.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard.
It'll be awesome.
You can buy like a dragon-shaped dildo if you really want to.
Oh,
just-
do they
they
make
just-
a dinosaur dildo?
Well, it's just anything. Do they?
I thought you meant, have they found any dinosaur
Well, that's what I meant.
fossil dicks?
You used to have a section. Animal dicks with Campbell White.
Did I?
Hello, welcome to the Fangin Around podcast. This is James. I'm introducing the podcast. This is episode 26.
Wow.
Recording on the 15th of October 2012. I'm joined by
Campbell White.
Fred.
yeah. Harry might Skype in, we don't know.
Yeah, our kind of regular, irregular fourth podcaster.
I bet you it won't come through the earphones like it's meant to when we're ready.
Now, this week on Fangin' Around, what do we got for the listeners?
Some follow-up from last week.
Oh, do we have any listener mail, first of all?
Oh, we have one bit of listener mail.
Oh, great.
Again, with the feedback about would you sleep with the invisible woman?
Oh, someone...
That is a hot topic.
Hot topic.
It's still going.
Cardinal33 says...
Hold on, Cardinal. Is he a real Cardinal?
I don't know. That's his username.
Could be a Cardinals fan.
He says, why not? Can't think of a reason not to. Yes, for sure, as long as she gave good head also.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So he's thought about it.
Yeah.
He can't think of any reason not to, but only if she gives good head.
So if she gave bad head,
He'd call a cut.
he'd just walk
He
away.
just quits. Just be like, no, this isn't working. Put your clothes back on or not, whatever. I'm out of here. Just leave.
I assume you've gone. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to have to trust you that you've left.
So yeah, thanks, Cardinal33.
I'm going to
for
watch Becca
contributing.
go.
Follow up, I finished Becca. The last season's not that good.
Oh, did you watch it double speed?
No.
How does it end? Does he get lung cancer?
No, he starts feeling weird, right? He doesn't know what's happening to him, but it turns out it's just because he's happy.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
lame ending.
He finds happiness, does he?
Yeah.
Is it with
Yeah.
the girl from the X-Files or the girl from Star Trek?
No, it's the How I
blind
Married
dude.
the Axe Murderer girl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The-
yeah, that's right.
The Star Trek girl got fired.
Did
the
she
show.
leave midway through the show, did she?
She leaves after the... She finishes up to the 4th season, so she got fired just before season 5 started.
She
So
got fired.
yeah.
What for?
So
In
she's
real life?
discussed all through season 5, but she's never seen.
In real life, she was fired, was she?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, on the Wikipedia says there's rumours that she led a strike to get more pay or something for the whole cast.
Oh, what a bitch.
But it's a bit weird because they had finally, he and Becca and Star Trek Girl had finally, I think Reggie's the name, the character's name, finally sort of fell in love. So it was a bit weird.
That's life.
And basically they pulled it off that she was just so embarrassed by hooking up with Becca that she just runs off to another country. That's basically their storyline.
Sounds pretty lame. Not technically listener mail, but last week I talked about this sort of trilogy of films with Heathers, Clueless, and Mean Girls. And I kind of did a shout out online after the show, just asking if anyone could help extend those either way in time. So here's my trilogy, the core trilogy that I'm wanting to extend. So for the 80s, it's Heathers. For the 90s, it's Clueless, and for the first decade of the 2000s,
I believe it's known as the noughties.
The noughties. Fine. Have we come to a consensus on that? The noughties was Mean Girls. Now, for me, what I'm looking at, and I thought I articulated it quite well on the show, maybe not. These are shows about high school. They're set during the time that they're made, and they're kind of pretty, they focus on girl cliques, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess shot it out there. Here's the 3 films. Can we extend it?
Yeah.
Mark Murphy. Oh, sorry. Oh, scrap that. Okay, here's some of the things people have suggested. Animal House for the 70s. But this person corrected themselves and said, well, it was actually set in the 60s.
And it's a college. And it's not really a clique of girls. It's like a crazy menagerie of nerds.
Someone else suggested The Graduate in 67. But that's not about a clique. Someone suggested Carrie in 76. Rebel Without a Cause for 55. Breakfast Club 85. Fast Times at Ridgemount High 82. The 80s are covered. I've done 80.
You locked it in with Heathers.
I've locked it in with Heathers. Someone else is saying Breakfast Club. I second that. Someone's saying...
That's not really a girl clique.
No. I just thought I was being really specific. I thought that trilogy was pretty specific.
Yeah.
The fan suggested Grease. It's about a clique.
Yeah. Yeah, with the pink...
Half the movie.
The pink...
If you cut that movie in half and just have the girl side, then that's...
Yeah, she's right in that regard. But it's not made in the decade it's set. So from that... Someone else suggested Grease, and then they said, lol, just kidding. Rock and Roll High School, 1979. Haven't seen that, so... High School Musical, someone recommended. Breakfast Club, Dazed and Confused.
What's that movie with Mandy
Superbad?
Moore? Mandy Moore?
Rebel Without a Cause, Juno, someone else suggested. But none of these are films about groups of girls. Anyway, it continues. I think either I didn't explain what my trilogy was about.
It could just not exist.
Maybe it's just a trilogy. Maybe it's just those 3 that do it.
Well, Girls, the TV show, is a bit like, it's not set in high school, but it's the same kind of stuff.
Yeah?
Girls dealing with stuff. It's like Sex and the City, but real.
Satsy. But real. Do you remember when they did that Boys Sex in the City? Set on Wall Street? It was called... what was it called?
No.
Oh, it's like a boys version. No, well, this was way before Entourage.
Oh, okay.
It was billed as like a guy's Sex in the City.
No, I don't remember that.
They were all like Wall Street brokers.
But speaking of listener mail, if you want to send us a question or contribute your answers to any of the questions we ask on the show, send it to mailbag@fangingaround.com, or go to the listener mail section on the website to get all the other options you have. You have bountiful options. We've added tent. You can tent us.
Yeah, you can pitch your tent. Or we pitched a tent.
Oh, I just set up the Google Plus account, so you can find us on Google Plus. You can plus us.
I got to say, today's Google...
I'd rather not, because I'd rather you didn't, because I'll never check it. So.
Today's Google search animation was probably the best I've ever seen.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Nemo in Slumberland.
Walked out of it.
It was, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked them, but that one was just... I guess it's because it's comics. I especially liked it. So, what have people been consuming this week?
Well, I was going to say for follow-up,
sorry.
we went straight into
Listener mail?
your follow-up. I did have one bit of follow-up. It turns out there is a tribute album for Space Jam.
Whoa.
It's that big that someone has created a Space Jam, and you can buy it on iTunes, and I'll link to it in the show notes if you want to get down on that.
What's the tribute album? Is it remixes? Is it people covering those songs?
Can I play a snippet?
Yeah. Have you got it?
Yep.
Oh. Into the future.
Guess what else this guy's tributed?
Wait, is it one dude tributing the whole album?
Yeah, he just does tribute songs.
Or tribute albums?
The Best of Phil Collins, a tribute, Volume 1.
Oh, wow.
The Best of Glee Club, Volume 1. The Best of Garth Brooks. There's actually 2 volumes of that.
Wow.
Oh well. How do you even do that?
Power to him.
How much does he make any money?
Oh, whatever, like what, 30% of whatever.
How do you even get in contact with the makers of Space Jam soundtrack? That's probably Universal or something. And say, I'm going to do a tribute album.
Does he have to?
Do you guys get 20%?
Does it get cleared? What happens? Yeah, what happens with that?
I never understood what happens when if you cover a song. Do
If
you have
it's
to get
parody,
permission?
right, you can do it no matter what. Does it count as parody?
Do you guys...
I didn't think that was very funny.
I believe I can fly.
We should make
Harry Eslick's calling.
We should make a Space Jam tribute album. No, we should make a tribute to the Space Jam tribute album.
Oh, hey, Harry, how's it going?
Hey, good. What's up?
We're live, Harry, so
We're live, yeah, keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Sorry.
Or get dirty, whatever.
R8,
you decide.
R18.
Oh, listen to that. Listen to that Scottish brogue he's picked up. Say something Scottish.
They say M instead of
Do they?
Yeah.
M.
No, not just M. Like, M. That's my Scottish. I'm trying to trying to pick that one up. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it'd be hard to pick up. M.
Well, it's just that subconscious thing when you it's not something you think about saying.
Yeah,
True.
it's almost involuntary.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be the hardest thing to pick
No,
up.
you just stuffed up, Harry. You said
Oh,
We just got a live tweet before we're dealing with technical issues.
Oh. What's the live tweet?
Gossip Girl is the ultimate girl clique TV show.
Oh, okay. Cool. I always liked Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And before that, Ghost Writer.
Someone I know was watching that very intensely yesterday. It's still
Sabrina the Teenage Witch is not a good show.
Oh.
Harry, people are going to disagree with you. Just putting it out there.
Harry.
Oh, I'm just trying to be controversial to get some listeners.
Yeah, that is controversial. Very controversial. No, that was a pretty cool show. What was the girl that was in it? What's her name? In Sabrina the Teenage Witch? No, the actress.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Melissa Joan Hart. What did she ever do?
Let's who's the hottie now that?
She did some couple of movies after it, and I think she just got knocked up, and that was it.
So Melissa Joan Hart.
Bit of a trivia for you guys.
Yeah.
Or not so much trivia, but I saw Melissa Joan Hart at the basketball when I was in New York.
What? You
Shut
went to the
up.
basketball in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
Was she the biggest celebrity there?
She was the biggest celebrity
did
there.
you totally recognise her, or did Bryony recognise her?
Nah, Bryony recognised her. We were up in the top stands, and Bryony was scanning for famous people.
And she spotted Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, I didn't know who she was. So
Wow. But you've seen her in the flesh.
yeah,
Light waves were bouncing off her and entering your eyeballs.
you could tell she was a star. She just had that star quality.
So was she pregnant? No. Oh, she looked. She looked. Had the perfect body 2 days after being.
This is some wild speculation of James.
Well, that's basically what happens once a woman in Hollywood has a baby. All they care about is how fast they lost the body weight, the baby weight.
Well, this
It's a
was
sad
like
truth.
for 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah, and Sabrina hasn't been on air for probably 15 years.
10?
10 years? What, was it still going when we were finishing high school?
I don't know. We can fact check that if you want.
I reckon it finished in 98,
Did you see Spike Lee at the basketball, Harry?
95.
Wanging around
no.
in the chat
You're
room.
totally
wants to know.
wrong, Campbell.
Oh, when did it finish?
2003.
So, Harry, are you recording?
Sorry?
Are you recording?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. So we've done a bit of listener mail, Harry. Just in regards to we're getting a bit more listener mail about would you sleep with the Invisible Woman? People are still.
Would you sleep with Wonder Woman?
No, the Invisible Woman.
The Invisible Woman, yeah.
People are
I'm
still
on board.
talking about that. The other thing is,
That's a popular subject. That was a while back.
Yeah.
yeah, it keeps
It
coming.
resonates with people.
Yeah, I reckon we
People
could
think.
leverage it for more. Yeah, I reckon we could broaden the
So new segment. Would you sleep with?
She-Hulk. No, see, they did this on the podcast with. No, they did this on the podcast, the Kevin Smith podcast, and we all made fun of them because of it. Because they had a which superhero would you sleep with?
Don't have to be superhero.
Oh, that's a lame
Which
segment.
superhero would you sleep with?
Yeah, they did that in the first episode of that Geeks on Patrol or whatever it's called, and we all went, "Oh God!"
All right. Okay.
And now we're doing it.
But
How quickly?
the Visible Woman thing. Are you knocking?
No,
The-
I'm just saying if we kept that going as a series.
Oh, right.
Who would you sleep with?
Would
now
you
we're in
sleep
that
this
territory.
week? Would you sleep with Poison Ivy?
Yeah, that sort of thing. We're not doing that. Listeners, we're not that show.
Campbell, you
Shut
haven't
down.
seen Dark Knight Rises, have you?
Why would I sleep with Bane?
No.
If I had?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I haven't seen Dark Knight Rises. Can you hook me up?
No, you can't see it now. It's out of IMAX. You can't see it. So we might as well spoil it for you.
No, I'd rather you didn't.
No. Let's not.
Have you had any haggis while you're there?
Yes, we've had a haggis.
How
It was
big
delicious.
was it?
Well, they're kind of a bit bigger than fist size. Sort of softball size.
Oh,
So you'd say?
softball size. So how many people would have one, would share one?
You could probably make it a family meal of 4
Okay.
with other things.
Yeah, with salad
Me
and
and Brandy.
stuff.
Yeah, we had leftovers if we shared one with 2. Yeah. No, it's salad. God, Campbell. With mashed potatoes and mashed neeps. Neeps and tatties.
Neeps and tatties.
Yeah.
Parsnips and taters.
Yep. That's what you have with a haggis.
Wagging
Sorry.
around in the chat room wants to know: would you sleep with Gina if she was invisible? And no one knew you're doing it because
Oh, that'd be the ultimate plot twist, wouldn't it?
Gina Reinhardt. We're talking about Google image search.
If
you wanna know it.
you'd said yes, I'll sleep with the Invisible Woman.
How would you know? The
No.
sensation would be different.
Well, the thing is, I think we specified we'd sleep with the Invisible Woman, not an Invisible Woman, not just a
But how
woman.
do you know
who
what
was
yeah, but if
the
she's a
Invisible Woman
billionaire
looks like?
and you became a sugar
Not the sugar daddy.
no,
She
toy
becomes yours.
boy,
Yeah,
but
that's
she's invisible. So it's just kind of like an invisible glory hole you just have to poke every now and then. And you get to live in a nice house.
Oh no.
I think no.
Pass. I'll pass on that.
Not even for $1 billion.
See, things get complicated then, don't they?
No, you would or you wouldn't.
No, but with money, you think, wow, well, with $1 billion. See, this is like that question you asked me: would I eat a poo? Do you remember we had that conversation? Would you rather eat a poo or drink a pint of urine?
Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah. Sounds like I might have
Wasn't that
answered.
from our first ever podcast?
I think that was
Yeah.
one of the first. It's a classic question, conundrum.
Classic question.
Wanging around wants to know: would you dig a shaft or open cut mine?
To Gina.
Yeah.
I don't understand the analogy.
Yeah, no.
How
That's
to
a bit
get in,
confusing.
Fred? How do you get in to poker?
I don't want to think about how to get in.
No, I've said I won't do it.
I'd think about
That
it.
means I don't have
You'd
to.
think about it.
Would you do it?
What? Just for the novelty of an invisible woman?
If she's always invisible, yeah.
Imagine telling people
What?
I banged an invisible
Would an
billionaire.
invisible...
No one would believe
would
me.
invisible... would you be able to smell them?
Yes.
Yeah.
They still give off
Smells.
odors.
So if she smelled nice, then yes. And she's invisible.
She probably smells nice.
Oh no, she smells like the oppression of
Oh,
billions of
whatever,
humans. I have no idea what perfume Gina Reinhardt wears.
Probably the expensive kind.
Do they talk about Gina over there in Scotland, Harry? Does she come up?
Not really, no.
Who's
not much-
Scotland's
not much.
billionaire?
Sorry?
Who's the most hated man in Scotland?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Probably,
We, Mr. McGregor.
nah, the English Prime Minister bloke.
Oh,
Who's he? David Cameron.
David Cameron.
they hate him
Everyone
right now.
everyone loves to hate him.
Oh. So how is
pretty
how is Scotland ruled politically? What sort of a
There's big
system do they
changes
have?
coming, right?
We're gonna have a
Oh, I don't understand it. Well, they've just cleared the way for a referendum to be held in 2014 on secession.
That's a year.
That's 2 years.
Oh. Can they just vote on that? Can they?
You can these days.
Isn't
Well,
it treason?
just yesterday, it's been in debate for like years, or 1 or 2 years,
How's this?
or maybe only 6 months, because Scotland have a parliament, like the Scottish Parliament. I suppose it's something like a state parliament, what we'd have over here, and so there's just been like the National Party has like a big majority in the state parliament, and so they've been trying to get a referendum going on complete secession from Britain. And I think they've just got the right to have the
The vote.
because technically, because it's be a change in the constitution, that means the whole of Britain would have to vote on it, but they just want a vote amongst the Scottish people whether Scotland. I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. But are people getting quite patriotic over there? Are they?
Oh yeah. There's been not protests. What do you call it?
Demonstrations, political rallies.
Yeah, rally. Yeah, there's been big rallies in. I think they're more sort of for it in Glasgow. Edinburgh's a bit more sort of sensible.
Oh, they bend the knee, do they?
No, they just understand the economic and political reality of.
Yeah. Well, what's Scotland's industry then? What's going to support them? Or what's
Well,
what's their industry at the moment?
Well, their big argument. They produce all the oil of Britain, so they actually contribute more. To the
so they're like
UK
the WA of.
yeah, sounds familiar.
They are the WA of the UK.
The WA of UK. We should align with them. WA should secede and hitch up with Scotland.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be
Bankwest used to
great?
be owned by the Bank of Scotland.
Really? They should team up. We'll provide all the iron ore.
Reciprocal
They provide all the
cashed
oil.
up Bogan agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, an exchange program as well. Do FIFO
FIFO Scotland.
across the globe.
Yeah.
They can come here on holiday. We can go there on holiday. This is brilliant. Is there someone over there you can talk to about this, Harry? This idea? Pitch it to them, maybe?
Probably. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Maybe
but
next week you could come back with some news
With some,
on how it's going.
research
Yeah.
On the WA Scottish friendship.
Now, I heard...
union.
in terms of celebrity spotting, Harry, I heard you spotted
Yeah.
a big one.
Well, I didn't spot the big one.
Oh.
Just Brainy.
Oh, you missed the big one.
I missed the big one.
Who's the big one?
Who was it?
J.K. Rowling.
Ooh. It's pretty big.
Oh, she's a big celebrity.
Oh, she's Pretty much the biggest.
The biggest, yeah.
Uh,
Apart from Gina.
yeah.
How big was the queue? Did she have to camp overnight?
Well, you had to it was a ticketed thing, so she had to buy tickets. She had to wake up at 8 a.m. and buy tickets online.
Whoa.
And there was kind of 2,000 or 3,000 people there. Yeah. Bryony timed the book signing at 2.5 seconds per book. She was
Whoa.
racing through them.
Whoa.
So she got 2.5 seconds with J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Wow.
Did she give her a gift or something? She said?
She did give her a gift.
What was it?
Well, she gave it to her minder, who passed it on to the other minder, who passed it on to her, and she said, "Oh, thank you."
Wow.
What was it?
Yep. It was a picture.
Cool.
There's probably a lot of crazies out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
She didn't just put her entire drawing portfolio and say, "Hey, if you ever think of doing an illustration book, hook me up."
No, it was a gift, James. It wasn't a business
Sales
proposition.
pitch.
Oh, I would consider Bryony's portfolio a gift. It's amazing.
Yeah. But she didn't want to muddy it by having JK think it wasn't
exactly.
a gift.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, James, you look like you want to add something.
No, I just wanted. There's more follow up.
Oh.
Because
sorry.
you were talking about your biggest memory from childhood was phone card collecting.
Oh, not my biggest, but a big one.
No, I think you said it was the biggest thing in
Oh,
your
okay.
childhood.
All right.
And
All right.
Harry
okay, I'll
and
roll
his
with that.
brother were huge phone card collectors.
Okay, so phone card collecting. Yeah.
It was wicked.
So, I was thinking about that throughout the week, actually. And, people would collect different types of cards and things, as sort of part collector interest and part investment. The serious people would be like, this is going to be worth some shit. I wonder what the biggest phone card collection is worth at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
Anything?
Fact check.
I've been wondering that for a long time, yeah.
Anything?
I don't think it's worth anything. I think it's worth zero.
Yeah, I think...
But aren't old stamp collections worth stuff?
Yeah.
As long as there's someone willing to buy it.
Yeah, but
I think it'll be
stamps have a long
worth more
history of
because
being collectible.
You can still
The only
use
reason
stamps.
phone cards were worth anything was because the price was overinflated by these kind of speculative people who were trading them.
Yeah.
And they set the price, and as soon as they pulled out and decided it wasn't worth it, then no one wants to buy them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a complete bubble, right? It's a complete false economy. And it just popped. It was like the Dutch and the tulips, right? Tulip trading.
Just like the tulips.
Well, it's a bit different, but similar to the tulips in that it was stupid.
Can you still buy phone cards?
I'm fact checking.
I don't think you can.
Are phone card? I bet phone cards are used somewhere. Well, the new phone cards, aren't they just like the international ones? International calling, right? Are those phone cards? Or is that just a number that you get given?
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, I remember what killed phone card collecting is they stopped making decorative ones. They just all made them plain, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. They have to be decorative to be valued.
And they changed from that flimsy plastic to a thicker plastic, and you could recharge them.
Oh, well, rechargeability would kill it off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, rechargeability I think is what killed it.
Would the physical card itself? I mean, they had a magnetic strip or something, did they? But
like
would
a
the
credit
physical card itself be altered by its use?
Well, the
did
original
it
ones,
get a punch?
the Telstra ones used to punch.
Yeah, they
a
got
hole.
punched.
Yeah, right.
So I got
And the British ones, they used to burn a mark into it.
Oh,
So
I think Fred's got some facts.
facts. Just doing a quick eBay search. You can buy 38 for $6.50. They got
38 what?
They got a $2 Ken Doan used for $5. Scarce $2 Telstra Coca-Cola limited edition polar bear one, $2. So the answer is yes.
So people are still trying to sell them, but are people still buying them?
I don't know. I can't fact check that, but they exist.
Weird.
But the prices you used to be able to pay $50 or $100 for some of the rare ones.
I think that was a bit of a folly.
That was an absolute folly. Oh yeah, see these ones are I'm looking on the internet.
If
now.
Antiques Roadshow comes to Perth, Harry, you got to find your collection, and
I got about a high stack of Mad magazines that I've been sitting on for probably 15 years.
you have to keep them mint though.
In pretty good condition. They're not mint.
In a
New
plastic
mint?
sleeve.
There's some Spy versus Spy, just Spy versus Spy specials. though.
Bag and board, is that one cool?
Yeah, board and bag. Bag and board.
All right.
Would you
Mint
bag and board
Batman
Gina?
Forever $5 phone card for $12.
Whoa, that's quite the
Batman
profit.
Forever.
Yeah, but that's because of the Batman, right?
Yeah, probably.
The Batman.
And there's a massive boom in Batman right now.
Which one? Batman Forever? What does it have
Forever.
someone else on the card?
Riddler.
Oh, riddle me this.
I want Dr. Chase Meridian. The greatest name in cinema history.
She looked amazing with the blonde hair, though.
Yeah, I like the style of that movie. It was cool.
It was sort of neon deco, was it? Would you
Yeah,
describe it
yeah.
as?
Well, but it's verging on gothic as well. Like the
And
architecture.
a bit steampunkish as well, with the sort of all the his mechanics and things that he.
Well, his mechanics are still pretty subtle.
Mm.
Like, you know, the Batman Forever's more like angular and stuff like rawer.
What did Chase Meridian do?
She was a psychologist, and
She's analysing.
Bruce
the
Wayne
Bat.
went to her to say, you know, I have a,
Right.
you know, she thinks he's got a dual personality disorder, which is like the Bat and the Man.
Oh, yeah. Sounds deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
I mean, it's an awesome concept, but then it's all about execution, really, isn't it?
Well, it's funny when I was a kid, the best thing about it was the Riddler, because I was obsessed with Jim Carrey. But now it's like the worst thing. I wish it was just like Two-Face and
There should never be more than one villain,
yeah.
ever.
There's,
Look, for me, the sins of a comic film are more than one villain and killing a villain off.
Yeah, because I mean,
That's the worst.
I reckon, Spider-Man 3 could have been really awesome if Venom, like you saw Venom's character and you don't actually reveal Venom until like the end of the shot, and it's like the teaser for Spider-Man 4. You know, like you see who plays, who's his character, who's the guy that Topher Grace played.
Oh, in the film, it was
Eddie
Brock? Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have his story in it, but he doesn't actually get the power until right at the end.
Oh,
like,
yeah, if
he
you're going to do a
loses it.
franchise, yeah, definitely. You
Like
should
that would
seed
be
things.
that should be the end of end of the movie. Spider-Man loses the black suit and it goes to Eddie Brock, and that's the teaser for Spider-Man 4. So it just had one big ass fight with the Sandman, and that would have been a great movie. Like.
Well, I don't know if it would have been great, but it would have.
But then they had 3 in because the Green Goblin came back.
Well, there's just so much going on
I guess they had to end
in a bad
the
way.
Green Goblin
Speaking
or
about
something.
Sam Raimi, who did Spider-Man, the original trilogy. Or what do we call it? Spider-Man original trilogy, I guess. The first sort of test footage or the first teaser footage of the Evil Dead remake was shown at a comics convention recently. So they're remaking the first Evil Dead
does it have
film.
Bruce Campbell in it?
It doesn't, but he's one of the producers. And it
I don't
was
know.
Isn't
I don't know
Evil
what I
Dead
think.
2 a remake of Evil Dead?
Evil Dead 2 is like a partial remake and a sequel all in one.
I've never actually seen Evil Dead 1 or 2.
I've got both of them. I can lend them to you next week. And there's dialogue written by Cody Diablo, who did Juno. They hired her to do the dialogue, and apparently it looks pretty awesome. Super gory and gross.
Have you
To
seen?
the max.
Did you see Jennifer's Body?
No.
Pretty terrible. That was Diablo Cody's first horror film.
Diablo Cody or Cody Diablo? I can't remember.
I think
her
it's
name?
Diablo Cody.
Anyway,
Like possibly is a stripper name because she used to be a stripper or something. That's a gimmick. So people.
I've watched a lot of documentaries about brothels and prostitution over the last couple of weeks, quite by accident.
Research?
No, just, flick on SBS. The first one was the one about the brothels in Amsterdam. Second one I saw was about Louis Theroux and the brothel. And then the one I saw like last night or the night before was about, Jesus, I've forgotten her name now. But a brothel that was going to be set up in Nevada by ex-Hollywood madam, what's her name? Anyway, she was a big Hollywood, she ran a call girl center in Hollywood, and was just doing, she was earning like $300,000 a night sort of things, like organizing all these girls. And then she got done for tax evasion or something and went to jail and all this shit. Anyway, she was trying to set up Stud Farm in Nevada, and it followed her story.
Stud Farm? Like a bunch of dudes?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
for
really?
ladies.
Okay.
Yeah. She was setting up a male, but it's fallen through, and she went into
To
rehab.
impregnate.
No, not well. It was
that-
just playing on that.
Was it going to work? Is there a market for that?
She thought there was.
Yes, she'd know.
And then the locals were all like, no,
'Cause
I
it's
know
like,
what you're really up
if
to.
you're
You're going to
a
run
single-
a gay brothel.
That's a pretty good idea, because if you're a single woman with, and you're too busy with work to find a partner, but you want to have a baby, and it's like you could just buy the sperm, or you can spend the weekend banging hot dudes that have been specially selected for their genetics and have a good time and then get pregnant like that. That'd be great business. I reckon you get money out of that.
I don't know about that.
There you go, James. Go for it. What do you reckon, Harry?
I reckon that's a terrible idea.
So physicists have, they either have or they're developing a test to see if we're in the Matrix. Because obviously we don't know.
How high were these physicists when they came up with this?
Well, Fred, how would you...
I've read about this,
I'm pretty sure
and
it's
there's
a
this
bunch of,
they're
like-
sort of saying, that I read somewhere it was like there's this, according to someone's research, they're sort of saying, well, there's this really high percentage that we are in a simulation because if a civilization could get to a point where it can generate digitally universes within their processing power or whatever, then there's one within that universe, and so odds are I can't remember how it all works.
I heard this interesting idea
But that's
that...
the kind of, well, from what I'm reading, it seems to be it's just they're like saying that things are quantized.
Yeah, what I heard is that, there's
No one understood what Fred just said.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I had this interesting idea that, like you said, specifically, the reason why they advanced civilization would want to breed people in a matrix was because they want to see who succeeds in that world, and they pick out the best brains to come and to take out and then contribute to their world.
Oh, is that why Steve left us so early?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It must be. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Speaking of great minds leaving us early, what do
I
you
could
think?
just spun my PhD to see if it was in a numeric simulation.
Yeah, did you?
Nah.
That would have been a good marketing
Yeah.
exercise, though, wouldn't it? What do you reckon about Lance Armstrong? Harry?
Oh,
Harry, how are you feeling specifically?
um,
Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown about what's happened with Lance over the last kind of few months?
everyone knows he's just a big old drug cheat.
But
Come on,
is
that's been in the news
everyone a
everywhere.
drug cheat?
But yeah, I'm not too surprised or care all that much particularly.
No. Oh, and how did you feel about Lance before it all? Do you think the drug?
Yeah, I thought
do you think the
he was a bit of a
drugs?
legend.
Do you think the drugs belittle his achievements?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, don't they just totally negate them?
But if everyone was using
Yeah.
drugs, isn't he still be rewarded because he used drugs better than anyone else?
I don't think it
No,
works
but
like
everyone wasn't on it.
How do you know?
Not everyone.
Because all the people who are, it's just how they don't know, because he never. If he passed the test, then why wouldn't everyone? And they only test the people who came first, second, third.
What's the point in testing the losers? I thought the whole thing was that if you kick out everyone who's tested positive for drugs, you're down to like 8th place or something ridiculous like that in the Tour de France.
Yeah, but
Not
that's over their career. How do we know if he never got tested positive over his entire career and getting tested more than anyone else because he came first more than anyone else, right? How are we to know what the other people were doing?
Well, we don't know what the other people are doing.
Exactly. It just seems like
But
the sport is tainted, not Lance Armstrong.
No,
I can't see
don't
how
know,
you
he's
can
pretty
say
tainted.
Lance is not tainted.
I'm not saying I'm saying the sport is as a whole.
What about the
Yeah.
match
Because
fixing
until
allegations?
we have evidence that the other people didn't test positive, or take drugs, because he never tested positive. There's only people saying. By the way, they're also saying this to get off their own positive test results. So they're only
Some of them are. Some
they're
of them
only
aren't.
agreeing to get reduced
Some of them
sentences
are.
from their own drug thing, or to get like her masseuse. It looks like it's just she's doing it for publicity. So I think it's all tainted.
Some of them
the entire
are
thing's
incriminating
tainted.
themselves.
What about what about the match fixing allegations? Where cyclists have come out and said that he offered them sums of money like 50,000 not to challenge him at the sprints.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
You
one.
think someone would bust
That's
him
something
for that?
that came out.
You think someone would just straight up bust him for that?
that's what everyone's sort of saying. Like, why hasn't this all come out earlier? And then people are sort of saying there was like this halo around him and so much support within the cycling community and so much support from like the cycling bodies.
Because everyone was doing it.
Yeah, or everyone was probably guilty as fuck as well.
Yeah.
But then do you just go, fuck it, do whatever. We're not going to test
like
you. We're not going to do
bodybuilding, yeah.
just race whatever you want.
Just set up a
use
Mr.
whatever
Natural.
bicycles you want. Use whatever, eat whatever white egg powder you want to do. Shoot up whatever. Just give us a good show. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, that'd be okay if that was the case, but seeing as it's not, then they're just being dishonest.
You just start up a Mr. Natural cycling event, and then have the other one.
But you'll
What,
never
just-
know. You can never... Obviously, if they've completely failed to test him, these people for the crowd, what a chance of ever finding it? You know? There's more money. This is the argument. The guy who actually caught Lance drug testing, right? And he was the guy who did the drug testing at Sydney Olympics. He's Australian. The reality is, the people who give them drugs are paid more than the people detecting the drugs. If you work for the AIS detecting drugs, right, you just get a government salary, right? If you're really good at doping drugs, you're getting paid millions by these sportsmen who are paid millions, right? So there's way more money and technology into creating drugs that are better than there is trying to research it. It's just a couple of people like you on PhDs trying to research this stuff on $20,000 a year.
Yep, probably.
So they should just give up and just go, you do whatever you want. If you die early, that's your fault, you know? It's the, what do they call it? The Darwin Awards, you know? If you mess up your
Just
body.
go nuts.
Yeah. Speaking of messing up your body, the government intervening, Harry, have you heard the great controversy in Australia?
Are you talking about this booze law?
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard about this.
They want to ban... Harry, they want to ban wine under $10.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Or at least tax it so it's a minimum of $10.
That's retarded.
So
That is retarded.
no more $5 bottles of wine, or $2 as I'll buy it.
No, that's really retarded.
Yeah.
I drink $5 bottles of wine, they can get fucked.
Yeah.
Well,
So we don't approve of that.
the price of cask wine would treble to $47.40
Under
Fag.
what?
under these crazy new rules of the
Yeah,
nanny
they're going
states.
to tax the crap out
cram
of
down our
wine, so
throat.
there's no cheap wine anymore.
Oh,
like
my-
done with ready.
Surely the majority of people that drink cask wine are like not alcoholic.
This is my idea,
My
right?
parents drink cask wine.
My idea is that you should drinking, like driving, should be a privilege, and so you should have a drinking license. And if you get done for drinking and driving, you lose your license, and it just makes it hard for you to buy stuff from the shop because
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I think I do agree with that, and I think there should be, but I think there should be legalization of all drugs,
all of them.
and then
given a license,
and you
then
get
lose your privilege
you
if
perhaps
you're
have to
stuff up.
you have to, just like with a driving test, to earn your license you need to have a good understanding of that drug
So you have to,
before
like,
you'd have to
chug
sit a
it. You'd
test.
be able to chug a pint
no,
before
you'd
you're
have
allowed to
to
drink it.
no, you would have
You
to
learn
sit
the
some sort of
risks.
test
Yeah.
where you're given complete. You'd sit a seminar or
But
something
then
and
they
do a
teach
test.
us drug education in schools.
Right, and you should
Yeah.
get a license.
Wasn't that just like
When you
completing
turn
health
18?
year 12?
No, but it would be it would be a thing. It would be a
Yeah.
thing. You go and do it. You pay your whatever. You pay $100 or whatever. Sit your test. Get your license to
But then when does it
purchase
end? That could be,
heroin.
you could say like, well, the same thing with junk food. People get fat and don't have junk food, so it's like you got to do a test to like make sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, the junk food, you're only hurting yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
That's the thing, is the idea of like cigarettes and stuff is you're blowing your smoke over everyone, and if you get drunk and glass someone, then you're a bad person. And that's in theory, that's the reason why we keep it illegal, is because they think that druggies do bad things, right? In reality, we're creating a black market for stuff which creates an entire industry of bad things anyway, but that's, But it's probably because, the tobacco companies and the alcohol companies are paying their campaign fees for the government.
I'd be
Jesus.
really surprised if that law got up. What politician is going to say, "Nah, I support"?
Well, they did to ready to RTDs, ready to drinks. A 4-pack of Jackson Cola is like $22 for 4 375ml cans. That's why cider's gone so popular, because it's not ready to. It's brewed, not constructed.
People should just be able to do what they want.
Yeah, but nothing that has increasing the price of Jack and Cola has only made people drink cider, and it's actually achieved absolutely nothing.
Mm.
So why would changing the price of wine do any different? I think.
Yeah, people just spend more money on alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get together like $6 for a bottle of wine, you can probably get together $8 for a bottle of wine. And realistically, there's not much out there that's
So
cheaper
remember
than
what I used to bring the cabs here because I could get them for $25 for 10 litres or something.
Mm.
Yeah, that's one of the.
No, those days will be gone. Days are numbered.
No more cheap cabs. Box wine industry will
Double cab the lot.
We've got some science and guilt thing, but I'm going to save that for the Jacinta podcast. The Jacinta
if that ever
special.
happens. Which
Also, some more Fong Lump. You're wondering about the future of American car design, Campbell.
Yes.
Well, I saw some people. This was going around on the internet. The pictures of the Corvette C7.
That is stunning.
ugly.
Coming in 2012 as a 2013. I don't know.
Is that the actual vehicle, is it?
This is not a test car.
That's not a rendering, that's the actual thing.
That looks like it belongs in the movie Demolition Man.
Cool. Well, you know, what more American a movie could there be than Demolition
Is
Man?
there any rumours about what car's going to be in the new Bond film? Has that been revealed?
I don't
It's just
know.
going to be another Aston, isn't it?
Maybe.
I assume. Whatever the top Aston will be at the time.
Okay. Has it come out? And is the new James Bond film out in England, Harry?
No, October 25th or something like that.
Okay.
So the Corvette C7, there was another American design that I really liked, and I think I said last week that Cadillac's doing their new models are looking nicer, but there was a concept car that there's two concept cars that Cadillac produced, one a few years ago now, and then one that was more recent that was like a boulevard cruiser sort of thing, and it really kind of harkened back to the glory days of Cadillac. They were sort of saying, you know, it's supposed to be the American Rolls-Royce. And it looks so American, and it looks a bit Art Deco, and it looks futuristic and kind of vintage, and it was stunning. It was stunning, but I don't know.
The other thing I was thinking about with car design that was interesting this is going back probably 10 years, but like the Chrysler Roadster. I think Chrysler, and they did another car that was kind of
They did the
interesting.
Prowler.
Maybe it was the Prowler, yeah.
They did a Chrysler Prowler.
And
That was
yeah.
that had front wheels outside of the body of the car, like an old hot
maybe.
rod, from memory.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember this.
Let's see.
And that was really cool, but that was, you know, I think that was kind of quite limited run and everything, and
Kind of
that's
not into that.
yeah. So, you know, this stuff, I don't know. America just seems to be, their cars, I don't know what's going on with them. Any car news? What do people drive over in Scotland, Harry? What's popular over there? What are you seeing a lot of?
A lot of European cars.
Yeah.
Might be surprised to hear. There is one wicked car. Everyone have a look at a Nissan Fuego. I think it's a Nissan Fuego.
A Nissan Fuego? There was a Renault Fuego.
I think we talked about.
Is it a Fuego? I think it's a Fuego.
El Centro El Fuego. That's a 2006.
New or old?
It's 2000s, I think, or maybe it's 1990s.
Okay.
It looks old, but it's new.
El
It's like
Fuego.
the most generic
Oh
looking
no,
car.
it's a Nissan Figaro.
Oh, Nissan Sentra.
Figaro.
Nissan Figaro.
Figaro, yeah.
And what do you think about it?
It's just like the coolest car ever. It's like it looks like a really old 60s car,
Yeah,
like
it's like-
two-door roadster, but it's like 1991.
No way, really? That's amazing. That looks cool.
And they're pretty
Wow,
popular. There's
When they
quite a
drive,
few
you
of them
see
over
them,
here.
these
Yeah.
being driven around, Harry. Awesome.
Yeah. You see kind of 2 or 3 times a week you'll see one.
What colorways are you seeing? Like what sort of? Because these ones
a
we're
lot of lime
looking
green, a lot of kind of grey blue.
Yeah, these ones are sort of greeny grey with a white roof.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, all of them with a white roof.
But
they look absolutely awesome.
That is cool. I can imagine that in Scotland. Well, I've never been to Scotland, but when I imagine Scotland, I can imagine that driving around in it.
It reminds me, is it the Fiat 500 they're re-releasing this year?
They released that ages ago. 500. You see them around quite a bit now.
I've seen them around Perth, these ones.
Fiat 500 is very cute. Well, this is a good segue into the car I wanted to bring up this week, which is the new Volkswagen Up. I think we spoke about this ages ago.
That looks not very good.
Yeah, I'm with Harry. It looks a bit boring.
I'm totally into the Volkswagen Up.
It's just like a more
It just looks like,
Golf.
it looks like a...
It is a
Like your mum would drive.
tiny Golf.
No offense to your mum, but
No. I know what you mean.
like a mum's car.
No, I just, incredible fuel
you can
economy,
fit a-
super stripped back, super
There's
lightweight.
a ton of people in it.
It's it just made me think back to the days of the Suzuki Swift 3-door.
Yeah.
Just nothing,
It
bare
does
bones.
look a lot like a Swift.
And super cheap. I think it I think it starts at like 13 grand. And yeah, it's just supposed to be, I don't know, it looks really cool. Next year they're actually bringing out an electric version, which is what I'm most excited about.
Ooh.
So an
And
all
the doors
electric.
go out that way. Is that
No, I think that's a concept model, unfortunately. Yeah, James was looking at a suicide
like the
door version.
entourage car for people listening at home?
Yeah, anyway, I'm excited by it. I can't wait to start seeing them around.
All right, it
on
is
the
a cool
streets.
car. It's just like when you said this car's really exciting. It's not really something you get exciting about.
No, it's not exciting like a new Lamborghini or something crazy like that. It's really bare bones. What I'm excited about is the fact that it's totally stripped back, lightweight, manual only, bare bones, 3-door, tiny, great fuel economy.
I like the concept. I hate cars with like electric windows and bloody cameras and
Yeah.
it needs that shit.
And this one you can, it's got this great kind of SAT system that's integrated, but it's an optional extra, but you can just install it. You can buy it as an extra. You don't have to option it, and and then you wind up optioned with all this other shit that jacks the price right up. It's something that you can just click into any of the Volkswagen Ups.
Yeah.
And Volkswagen is like, no, we need like a new people's car. Because they used to produce the Beetle, which was like super, super cheap.
Hitler made it.
Yeah, Hitler made it. And it was super cheap, so people could afford it. But now all their cars sort of start at much higher prices. It's sort of like it's like an entry-level luxury brand almost, But this car, they're like, no, let's make a people's car. Anyway, next year the electric will come out, and they're going to start doing variants, and it's going to be cool. I'm excited.
All right. I'm excited now as well.
Yeah.
I'm still
Got me excited.
still not excited.
And I like the painted bumper as well on the front with the black rim around it. And they all come standard with laser braking.
I saw that ad for that.
Laser braking.
Yeah, so...
Fred, tell us how that works.
Some laser figures out if you're going to drive into the back of something, and then it puts the brakes on for you.
Oh, okay. That's not as exciting.
It's
Anyway.
pretty cool, though, like for inner city driving.
You know
get
what's
Yeah, I
stupid?
suppose that's pretty cool.
It has an exclamation mark in its name. It's not just up. It's up.
With an exclamation, yeah.
Exclamation up. Up.
Anyway, I think the Volkswagen Up's going to be a cult car. In the future, like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to be like a classic, this car.
Just like the Suzuki Swift is right now.
Yeah, people are loving it.
Not the
No.
new Suzuki Swift, the wedge Suzuki Swift. The classic.
Now, last Tuesday,
Oh, we're going to be Queensland.
I was going to go see Looper, Cheap Tuesday night. But there was going to be this damn balloon launch, right? The Red Bull Stratos project. And it was meant to be launched at 5, and then it was going to jump out at 7 p.m. But then it keep getting pushed out back and back and back. So I was going to go to the 9:30 session, as I usually do. And it kept getting pushed back, and I'm like, I don't want to miss this. So I didn't go to see Loop. But then eventually, by 1 a.m., I've been waiting around since, 5, following this thing. they cancelled it. They called it off because of wind, and because the wind actually broke the balloon. Thankfully, they had a backup balloon, and so they did the second attempt last night, and again they kept pushing it back, and so it started right after Formula 1. I was like, sucked. Watched the Formula 1, switched to this on. I was like, sucked. Yeah, we're gonna watch this balloon jump from space, and it finally went live. And so this idea is he's got to go up 38 kilometers into the sky and then jump out. And because there's no like air out there, he just falls back to Earth at maximum speed because there's no wind resistance. So he actually supposedly broke the sound barrier as he fell. And for part of it, he was just tumbling furiously because there's no air for him to stabilize himself, because you know how skydivers are able to stabilize themselves. He can't do that, so he's just tumbling. So that was kind of. Did you guys watch it?
No, I kind of heard it.
I connected to this. I logged onto the stream or whatever when he was initially supposed to launch, and then I wasn't sure when it was going to happen again. It got delayed, and then I missed it.
I think it was like 3 a.m. before I got to bed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was interesting that they sort of talked about this Armstrong limit, which is, 63,000 feet.
Just reading that.
Yeah, where if you don't have a pressure suit, your blood just starts to boil.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nuts.
Did you see this quote? I was just reading the article just then. Let me just get back to it. The subject later reported that ... his last conscious memory was of the water on his tongue beginning to boil.
Oh, shit.
And they rapidly decompressed some dude back in the 60s when they still did cool stuff like that.
That
or 40s,
just...
whatever it was.
Hold on, but if the water on your tongue's boiling, surely the water on your eyeballs would be boiling too.
Maybe he didn't remember that bit. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
The interesting thing was that it's been 50 years since they last attempted or successfully attempted to do a space jump, and the guy who did it 50 years ago, which would have been 1950s, it was before.
It was 1960.
So maybe in 60 years, is it?
Yep.
It was before. No, it was 1960. It was 10 years before they went to the moon. But they actually got that guy to come back and be the radio guy that said, "Hey, make sure you put your oxygen on." He's like 84 now, and he's still gone. So that was pretty cool.
So this was the first successful space jump.
The highest. Yeah, so he
space
beat
jump.
the old record they set in 1960.
Are we on the edge of a space jam? Is that next?
What do you mean?
I don't know. But anyway, what I was wondering, Fred, you know how in the space station, right?
Yeah.
The astronauts are floating around.
Yep.
How high do you have to go before you can do that? Do you know? Because I went on Google this, right? And there was millions of questions, and everyone on Yahoo Answers, the answer that was voted up, right, was some smarter saying, well, technically there's no such thing as zero gravity because no matter where you are, there's something pulling you, whether it's another galaxy a million billion miles away or something.
It's true. Well, I don't know, but the people in the space station are technically in free fall. So if you were stationary that far from the Earth, I don't know, but because they're actually continually continually falling towards the center of the Earth, but they're actually rotating around. So they seem weightless. Less like if you jump off a building, you're weightless for a few seconds. So they'd be weightless.
Right. But okay, so
if you just want to sit there...
The people who went to the moon, right?
So there's a point not halfway, but towards the moon, where the Earth's gravity and the moon's gravity cancel, and then you're truly weightless.
Yeah, but
is that the sun's gravity?
Is
yeah,
that,
but you just say that's basically
right. Okay, so is that saying that you can just sit down normally as soon as you stop free falling?
What do you mean?
In space?
Well, if you're not free falling, you're not orbiting.
No, but when they go to the moon, they're not orbiting.
Yeah, no, because the Earth's gravitational pull will be really, really low. Like, people are saying it's never zero, but it might be so insignificant that, you put something in and it's like, after an hour, it's moved 0.1 of a millimeter.
So if you parked in space...
But that's the lamest bit of nitpicking anyone's ever said.
Yeah, so there'll be some point where effectively you can't tell anymore.
You don't have to go too far
But
away
how
from
high
the
do
Earth
you reckon
where
that would be
you're
up?
Do you want me to do a
virtually
calculation?
weightless. As good as
Yeah,
you'll ever be.
I don't know.
With 38 kilometers, but the 38 kilometers, no. It was weird because there's no air resistance. He was moving like a robot because there's no friction against his arm when he moves it. So his
Or it's like when I'm trying to move my hand, I'm like, just going through this molasses of air. It's like around, I can't even move. It's just, and like when I run, I'm like,
well, how do you explain? Do you saying the camera's lost
wasn't
the
he in
frame
like, he's in
rate?
like a big pressure suit, wasn't he?
No, but you see him moving around on the ground. He looks normal, like a guy you expect to look in a spacesuit. When he was up there, he was just like,
Maybe it's because it's all like inflated, right? Because he's got 1 atmosphere in his suit and it's like 0 atmosphere outside, so he's like, oh, big puffy balloon.
Maybe he was doing the robot.
Maybe he was maybe he's having a space jam. Maybe it was the first space jam off the highest space jump.
I thought it was real. I think it's kind of like that effect where you get on the escalator that's not moving, but you have that sensation of like.
Do you start
expecting it?
roboting when you?
So when you go like that, he's overcompensating because he's expecting it to be different, but he's sort of like.
I don't know about that.
It looked like they were shooting the video. They were shooting was like a lower frame rate. It looked like an old timey movie from.
Maybe it was that.
Everything.
Or like when
but
you go to
before that,
pick up
it
a juice carton and you think it's full and it's empty and you go like, whoa.
Yeah.
It'd be
When he
like
left
that,
Earth,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I think James has got a fair point.
I don't think that's
So you
true.
think it's just the frame rate of the camera?
Something else. I don't think it's air resistance. Like when you see the dude spacewalking, I mean, they're all stiff, but that's just because they're in these ridiculously big suits.
What did the guys on the moon look like?
They're just all bouncy.
Yeah, but
That's
they had really
right.
old cameras back then, so they probably weren't even filming at 24 frames per second.
One thing which I've never given too much thought, but has always perplexed me. They're in a pressurized suit, right? So the suit's full of heaps of air.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's just like loose fabric. How come it doesn't look
because
like
you could watch
they're in
him.
a giant balloon?
You could watch him, and they're saying in the rover, your chute should be pressurizing soon, and I'm just sitting there watching, going, wouldn't it just become like a balloon kind of thing?
No, because it's like a rigid.
Yeah.
It's like a rigid thing, right? It'll be like some stiff thing with joints, and then that's not going to like.
So there's a stiff suit inside the floppy suit he's
Yeah,
wearing.
probably. I'd imagine.
I mean,
so.
it definitely looked more inflated up there than down on the ground, but not as much as I expected.
Well,
To
it's design. You don't want to blowing up like the Michelin
Yeah.
Man when he's like trying to jump
It
out of
was
the
just,
spaceship.
so maybe it's just
but-
it's probably just the internal membrane that's blown up like a balloon, and the outside because it's mainly insulation.
So it'll be really
probably.
stiff and tough, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't just blow up. Something that doesn't stretch.
Yeah, so it must be a double-layered suit. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there'll be something on the outside to like blast him through the atmosphere without catching fire.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
So yeah, it's worth checking that out. The other thing I wanted to talk about. Well, okay. Since I didn't go see Looper, I got a chance to watch Primer this weekend.
Did any?
Oh,
seen
Primer! I thought we were all going to watch that together.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it was going to be our next pie.
Oh, right. Well, maybe
Was it?
Fred. What are you guys doing on Friday or Saturday?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be in
Fred's
Melbourne.
birthday.
Oh,
You're going to be in Melbourne this
I
weekend?
think so. I don't know yet.
Yeah. I was thinking we could have a screening of something for Fred's birthday because he refuses to do anything.
Yep.
So I can do it at my house. But yeah, so I saw Primer, and the guy who wrote Primer did this time travel stuff in Looper, but I haven't seen Looper to talk about. Have you seen Looper? I know Fred's seen it. Harry?
Looper was awesome.
Oh, so you two have seen it, but we can't. We'll never.
I
we can
haven't
never
seen
talk about
Campbell.
any movie because Campbell won't go see it.
No.
Cheers.
It's wicked.
But yeah, Primer was interesting. It was made for like $7,000.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to show it to you because like everyone lost their minds over it and it won all these awards.
Maybe
and,
I'll go and see it without you guys then.
Well, you're the only one who probably come close to understanding because it's not dumbed down in any way. So.
yeah, and yeah, that's why people were like really into it as well
Um,
because it's like
and it's-
2004.
It's
what are you
not
talking
necessarily a well-made film either. So
it's not out in cinema.
Oh, okay.
they've added, like, it seems like at the last minute they've added some narration to connect the scene. So even though I got what was happening in time travel, I didn't know what was happening in the story. Like,
Have you seen any of the charts that try to map out all the stuff?
yeah, the charts are awesome, and yeah, that's what's cool because he's really thought about how this idea would work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily how time travel would work, but based on the premise of what his time travel that he's created, how that would work.
Yeah.
The logic.
What would what would follow through if
Yeah.
that had occurred? Yeah.
Cool. I might go and check this one out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the best time travel films of all time. After
Terminator 2.
and Back to the Future, where he tries to have sex with his mom.
Yeah.
Skeezy. Yeah.
Do you have the? Oh no, you don't.
Do I have what?
The Blu-rays of that.
No,
You don't have a Blu-ray.
I don't have a Blu-ray player.
Um.
Sometimes I like to keep a couple of Blu-rays around. How's all your trufflings going, Harry?
Oh yeah, your truffle conference, Harry. That's what we wanted to call you.
Can we get an update
Yeah,
from
it
there?
was pretty exciting.
Did you go to the bar?
Context for the listeners, Harry.
Fun guys. I went to a truffle conference in Hungary. We ate some truffles, collected some truffles.
So it's more of a tasting thing.
Nah.
It's like the
Well, there
thing
was
they
2
have
days
up
of
in
conference,
Mandarin.
and then there was 2 days of like pre-conference tour, and that was eating and drinking.
So was it for industry or was it for science or was it a bit of everything?
It's kind of a bit of both. It was like an informal conference, so it wasn't like a proper science conference. It was more just like they arranged it as a group of friends sort of get together, talk about science, and like industry people and stuff are there as well. Truffle hunters. It's a weird sort of thing, but it was cool. Lots of food.
Did
and
you
wine
learn new
and
things?
Eating truffles.
Did you learn a lot? Or was
Yeah, I
there-
learned. Yeah, I learned heaps, I suppose. Well, it's a different species to the truffle that I grow, but it was pretty exciting.
Did you try any white
I
truffles?
learned about. Oh no, it's a summer truffle.
Oh.
Have you ever had white truffle, Harry?
Well, we went out and found some white truffle because I know there was a Hungarian guy that came to work with us for a year.
Oh.
So I went out truffle hunting with him. He took me out, and we found a big bag of white truffles in the forest.
Did you get to eat it?
No, we didn't eat any.
Have you ever? So you don't know how they're different in taste wise.
Oh yeah, they smell completely different. They're really, really strong, like stronger than a black truffle, and they got a really kind of garlicky
Oh.
smell.
Oh.
They smell a lot like garlic,
Doesn't
like
smell.
garlic chives or something like that.
Doesn't sound good.
What's the price difference?
Probably Fred. Big, sort of perfect shaped one. You can get up to $10,000 a kilo.
Whoa. And what about with black ones? What per kilo? What's the kilo price? on it?
Probably 2,000 a kilo max, I suppose.
Wow, right. So does the Margaret River Truffle Company want to start growing white ones? Are they able to? You're saying it's a summer truffle. Is that right?
I cannot speak for what they want to do, but no, it's very hard to grow. No one. Well, they pretty much grow on mature trees, so you need like 50-year-old oak trees to grow them, and no one's really cultivating them as like a thing. They're mostly kind of a natural forest.
So no one at this truffle conference was a white truffle specialist.
Oh yeah, they're white truffle specialists, but they're more sort of ecologists rather than like farmers or agriculturalists. What's so funny?
Oh, Fred's just been scrunching a lolly wrapper, and I thought it was just static or crackling or some audio glitch, but he's just been rubbing this. He's been doing this the whole time.
Oh,
What was that?
Harry, where are you doing your
Sorry.
podcast? Because it doesn't sound like you're in Scotland.
there's no trucks.
Yeah, I'm in Scotland.
Where are the trucks?
I don't know. It's a slightly less trucks than normal.
Normally there's a truck every 5 minutes. We've lost Harry.
We see this blood splatter. Gets murdered. Campbell, you want to talk about dinosaur genitalia?
Did I want to talk about
I wanted to talk about that.
No, Fred wanted to.
What do they know about dinosaurs and sex? You're the resident dinosaur expert.
What do they
supposed to
know
be the
about
artist.
dinosaurs and sex?
Do they know how T-Rexes did it?
No.
Do they speculate?
I'm racking my brain. I don't actually know much about mating because it's all soft tissue, so they don't have it. They don't have a lot of it.
Didn't they find a fossil or something having sex? Or was that was a different animal, wasn't dinosaur?
No, I don't think it was dinosaurs having sex.
I'm pretty sure they have found. I remember.
Was that?
I think we talked about it on the
Was
podcast.
that one of the Far Side panels jokes?
No.
This sounds like it would have been one of them. No, I don't know anything about dinosaur sex.
Okay.
I know they can sometimes sex fossils. And there are some like marine fossils, like of ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs and things that are really interesting because they've got young in them, and they can tell that they were having live births, which really blew people's minds, and they could tell that they weren't digested because they are cannibalistic. Sorry, but they could tell that these ones are actually in a womb. So there's things like that. There's fish with wombs that they found. So they found all sorts of reproductive stuff, but I don't think anything about specifically mating behavior. They found like clutches of eggs, so they know that some dinosaurs raised clutches of young. Nothing about their dicks though and what they look like.
Sure, someone's speculating.
Yeah, I mean, go online. I'm sure there's some spec.
It's dinosaur dick.
Have you seen some great renderings of what T-Rex would look like if he had normal size arms in I say it's quite interesting. Or talking about dinosaurs, if we want to extend that conversation, I think I mentioned to James earlier this week that recently some Jurassic Park 4 concept art has been sort of released. And this was for a Jurassic Park 4 concept that was cancelled. So a project that's cancelled. No, it's no longer going ahead. Boo. It's not happening. But some of the concept art has been kind of leaked out. And what the project was going to be, or what the film was going to be about was... Did you read it, James?
I just saw the screenshots.
Okay, I think what was happening...
I heard someone say that it was the characters from Jurassic Park 3 were cloned and then they turned them into dinosaurs like a human.
Oh, I did see that.
Jurassic Park
Yeah, I know what you're
dinosaur.
talking about. Like freaky.
Yeah, so it was a military project where they were trying to create like human dinosaur hybrids as super soldiers, and it all occurred within a castle on a crazy island.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Oh, right.
I had this book as a kid, which was like dinosaurs, cool dinosaur book. And then one of the pages at the end was like, what if dinosaurs still live today? And it was like humanoid dinosaurs, and it looked exactly like these like creepy things. One of those weird images that sticks with you.
Have you guys read the books? Jurassic Park.
I read the first one.
No, you know I feel about Michael Crichton. I got
So
beef
this,
with him.
speaking of genitalia, this woman has 2 vaginas. She says, according to the headline, she's lost her vagina twice.
She lost her vagina twice.
Oh, her virginity's twice.
Oh, okay.
It's Freudian slip. Yeah.
She lost her
And
virginity
she's-
twice.
For the same
she's-
dude?
Or I don't know. But she's pretty hot, right? And she's called Hazel Jones, and guess what? She follows us on Twitter.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah. She followed the Fangin around.
Oh, you'd go and like tell everyone. I guess he's on the internet about it, so.
So that's cool. Hi, Hazel, if you're listening. We dig that you have 2 vaginas.
According to this diagram, she has 2 uteruses. And cervixes. She doesn't have 2 vaginas.
No, but that's the hole, right?
No, there's one hole. 2 uteri.
Yeah, but you have one hole and they have... You have one hole and the girls have
Way up, way
the
up.
urine hole inside that hole, and then there's the vagina hole that goes up that hole. And now she's got
I don't
2
believe
vagina
it.
holes.
You need to go back to Anatomy 101.
According to this picture... Did you see the picture, Campbell?
Is it the medical diagram? Yep, I saw the.
So I believe she has one hole with 2 endings.
So it's like our 4-wheel drive, right? Has a petrol tank.
Oh shit!
And as you put the petrol tank nozzle in, but you can stick it either and slide it around that way to go into the sub tank, or this way and to go into the main tank.
No,
bit
it's
like
more
that?
like there's one hole and then the pipe goes down and there's 2 gas tanks.
Yeah, that Fred's analogies.
So you can't stick it up there.
You don't stick.
Yeah.
So why is the headline 2 vaginas?
That's
it's
misleading.
wrong.
It's misleading.
It's wrong.
Well, according to this diagram,
I don't think any of us really know what's going on.
can't we
with
get
this
her on the
film.
podcast? Are you tweet her?
Maybe. We could DM her since we follow each other.
Yeah, well, PM her. DM her, whatever. Kangaroos have 3 vaginas.
So I read a thing that ducks have like this maze of vaginas with like dead end pockets and stuff, so that if they're getting molested by some male duck they're not that keen on, they just like give it a bit of a twist and that ends up in some dead end.
I saw that they on Reddit someone posted this video where these guys heated up a bucket of aluminium, right? So it was
I think
liquid.
maybe you're wrong. Maybe she does have 2 things.
I don't know why you're disputing this. Anyway, so yeah, they melted a bucket of aluminium, and then they poured it down an ant hole, right?
I saw that video.
And let it set, and then they dug it away to see how the structure that this aluminium had created, and it looks pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
I've seen a video like that. Yeah, where they it was an abandoned ant's nest, and then they dug it out.
It wasn't a band, this one.
Oh.
They just murdered every single one.
Okay. Well, there's one where in Africa they did it in an
No,
abandoned.
she does have 2 vaginas. This is a misleading diagram. Sorry.
So the
go on.
diagram was crap. So she has
2 vaginas.
She has 2 vaginal openings.
So it says,
that
which
lead
means
to
she
2
also
vaginas.
which means she has 2 separate uteruses and cervices as well. And then down the bottom, there's a quote. When I was younger, I thought, no, that's not the quote. When she was going through puberty, she asked a school friend which hole she should use for a tampon. As in, she had 2. Two vaginas. Okay, that's cleared up. We can move on.
Sorry, no, but I was wondering, should she, obviously it's pretty public, she follows us on Twitter, what, should she feel in danger? Do you know what I mean? Like, we hear about these Saudi princes who pay millions of dollars to get these hot women to be in their harem and stuff like that. If you were like one of these guys, wouldn't you be like, I want the girl with 2 vaginas? You would kidnap her and...
Unless you've got a friend over, I don't know why you'd need 2 vaginas.
It's just the novelty, Fred. Once you've got a harem of hundreds of women, like, you want things that are different.
You'd be after exotic things.
Yeah.
Maybe.
People
I don't
are
know.
always
Maybe.
chasing something more exotic, you know. That's what happens in life.
Sure.
She'll be in demand. She could have a huge... If she wanted to make money, she could sell herself and sort of put herself on eBay for just one night only. She'll make a mint. There'll be so many guys out there who'll be just like, man, let's see what that's about.
Sure.
Cool. There you go, Hazel. Some ideas to make some money.
Pip yourself.
Jesus Christ. Or you could go to university, study hard. You might be the next president. I don't know. Could be a lawyer, a doctor, educator.
Yeah.
James isn't saying she can't
You
be
don't
those
have
things.
to
Now,
sell
in your
body to the
corner,
night.
Campbell, you got an article here, The Mad Lights of Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan.
Anyone
I read that.
So what are your thoughts, Fred?
I don't know. I don't know how much of it is real. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. It's mad lies.
no, is it how much of it is just made up by the author and how much
No.
is real? Like Hulk Hogan actually said this
Yeah.
because there's a couple of references, like when he chokes the guy, Law and Order. Apparently had a TV show, a chat show, like in the 70s. I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's one other that I listened to his album for a little bit, so that exists and is real. But like, I don't know.
Why would he do an expose on Hulk Hogan lying and then lie?
Because you could just make it up. Because you can't
But
fact check it.
Why pick him? Why not pick a...
You guys are believing
You know what?
it.
Today I'm going to write an article about,
Hulk Hogan.
I wonder if Hulk Hogan, we could just
No,
spin
maybe
a
there's
story
like
about
a
him
bit
lying.
of some. Hulk Hogan tells a bit of lies, and so this guy's just like, how crazy can we make these lies?
Oh, Fred.
Anyway, I like to believe it's all true. It sounds good.
It's all true, or all his lies
I
are
like-
true.
It's a bit of both.
It's true that he told all those lies.
I don't know. I wish some of the lies were not lies. That
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan told.
When he
They're
like
pretty
did things
crazy.
after people had died and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because what's the bit? What did he say about Andre the Giant? Because that's
Yeah.
where the shit gets really just lies, right?
Yeah.
Because doesn't he say that these are the shoes Andre
are
the
the-
Giant wore?
These are the shoes I wore, and the next day Andre the Giant died.
And when I battled Andre the Giant, and the next day he died, right?
Yeah, something like that. And
But
then
he
the
actually
person's
died like 6 years later.
yeah, and Hulk Hogan like met him numerous times between those two.
And the weight of Andre the Giant. So in this,
they linked to a video of him on MTV Cribs.
and he talks about the boots, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he describe them as the second most famous boots in the world or something? Oh, which is all sorts of wonderful.
But yeah, and then he said after he did that, he died straight away. But then Andre the Giant lived into the 90s. Anyway. I mean, he could have
He's
dementia.
He's probably got. I mean, he took a lot of drugs.
and all the hits?
And yeah, he being hit in the head and all the bangs. He's probably got all
Campbell.
sorts of memory loss.
Not real. All those punches
trying
he
to
saw,
say?
all those punches he saw, not real.
What? No.
Oh, but they still hit the deck pretty hard no matter what.
yeah.
It's not that.
It's still pretty... Have you seen The Wrestler, Fred?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I watched the Louis Theroux when he hung out with the wrestlers. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like the extreme wrestling where they throw each other into barbed wire and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what The Wrestler's all about. It's
Well,
probably inspired by Louis
What's
Theroux.
the stuff? And what does he say? Who is it that fills the bathtub up?
That's Andre
right up
to the
taps.
That's Andre the Giant. To the taps, man. To the taps.
That quote that haunts me. That
That haunts
up to the taps, like
Yeah, vivid dream.
just that little phrase. Right up to the taps, man.
So once while on the road, Hogan witnessed Andre the Giant take a poo in a hotel in a hotel bathtub. He almost completely filled it all the way to the taps, brother.
Oh, it's revolting.
That would be amazing. Fred the Better Gangnam Style.
Oh, that's from last week. We already talked about that.
Oh, your version.
Yep.
Deciding to be a wizard.
I put that up there ages ago. This is like this video of like this. He's kind of a nutcase. He basically decided he's a wizard, so he wears like wizard robes and has a wand, and like goes down to the supermarket and like
Now, are we talking about wizards or magicians, or what are we talking about? Here?
magicians.
Does he do parlor tricks? Or?
No. He like believes it. He like believes in all the like magic crystals. And
Oh,
all
okay.
this,
I
like,
can see the pic. Okay, he thinks he's a
like a
wizard.
genuine wizard. So a decorator, Oberon, Zell, Ravenheart, and the Grey School of Wizardry. So I couldn't decide whether he was pretty cool or a complete nut job. On one hand, he's
Is it funny?
Not really.
He's not doing like Ali G.
No.
like
He's
pretending.
for he's serious, 100% serious about it. And he has students, and he lives his life by these like guide of magic, and he just believes it. So I didn't know whether he's insane and just like a complete nut job loser, or whether he's pretty cool because he just went with it's pretty benign, and just like he's just 100% into it.
Give it
So you could
2,000 years.
you could
see
watch
if people
the-
are following.
Yeah. Watch it's only like a 7-minute YouTube clip someone made of like just following this guy around and like his thing.
Well, 7 minutes. Give me about 6 or 9 months. And I'll get back to you on it. Yeah, well, Alan Moore decided he was going to be a wizard. The comics writer.
Yeah.
I think it was like his 50th birthday or something, and he was just like,
But does he mean
I'm
like,
going to be a wizard. And he does he does rituals and things. And,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because some of those, I don't know if it was Louis Theroux or like docos on religion, like weird religions, they've gone like Wiccans,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just complete lunacy, like their little rituals and stuff. But they're just so into it that you'd never convince them that it's part of the bullshit.
Yeah.
So I don't
And
know.
Alan Moore worships this like snake sock deity from ancient Greece. He's like he picked this sock deity that was that he's like he doesn't believe in. He doesn't believe it exists.
You
He's
just
like
pick the Swiss deity from history.
yeah. He was just like this thing. It was like I saw it in a book, and I'm going to worship it. and now it's like his deity because
That's not a bad
he's
idea.
sort of saying it's not about because he doesn't believe in it. I don't think he's saying the power is the idea, and the power of the idea kind of the benefit of that manifests itself in the individual. So whether you're worshipping this sock deity from ancient Greece, or you're worshipping Allah, or you're worshipping Mary Magdalene, or whatever, whoever you're wanting to focus your attention on, that's where the benefit occurs. It's not in.
Yeah, well, I see this as like this guy. If it helps him with his life and it's benign, then sure. But then on the other hand, you just think,
They have something better to do.
yeah, do something better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I should pick a deity. I'll look into it.
Maybe that can be a homework for us all. Pick a deity
Yep.
to worship.
In my corner, I was wondering if you guys noticed that Argentina is becoming a new New Zealand.
No.
I don't know what that means.
It's like that now the 8th state of Australia. Like New Zealand's the
Argentina?
7th state.
Argentina?
Yeah.
Really? I haven't met
I'm-
one
I know
Argentinian
I'm-
person
I know
in like forever.
knowing more and more people like going there, just like, yeah, let's go to Argentina. One of our friends lives there, doesn't she? No? Emma?
Shauna.
Or she moved? Did Emma go to Argentina?
Maybe she visited.
She might have visited.
I thought
Shauna.
Emily went to Argentina, so his sister.
No,
think.
anyway, like
The mad lies of Jesus.
Yeah, well, don't get me
they're
started.
getting Argentina's getting really big into hockey and rugby.
They were always into hockey.
Well, they were always into it traditionally because I don't know, English roots or whatever, but now they're actually getting good at it. So they've joined like
the southern.
the Southern Leagues, and it's out all these teams, and now they want to actually make it like they actually want to get get rugby teams from there, so you can go see Western Force play a Buenos Aires team.
Good.
And yeah, there's just more and more, even though it's like a lot longer flight than going to New Zealand.
Yeah. Well,
I
I don't. I'm neutral. On
I can't
Argentina.
really speak on that. Yeah.
Well, you're a bit New
if
Zealand.
it's
You're a bit
true,
sad that you're not number one anymore.
What is Australia suddenly going to start claiming Argentinians as their own
yeah, that's it.
and start
That's what I'm
claiming
saying.
Argentinian
Yeah.
inventions are theirs?
So I'm just putting
Sangria. Oh yeah,
I'm
we
putting
invented that.
a marker down and saying a year's time.
You're drawing a line in the sand.
No. Let's see in a year's time.
If we're all speaking Spanish.
No, or we're claiming some Argentinians as own,
Yeah, well, we're pretty good at that. So let's
We're-
see.
we're-
The most famous Argentinian.
or what was it? It's Maradona, isn't it?
The hand of God.
Yeah.
We're going to claim Maradona.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He must have said the word Australia at some point. That's good enough for us. And what have you got open there? Con Air.
No, I was looking up because of went on some huge wiki binge because of the Red Bull thing, and I got to a bunch of weird planes. Like they were talking about breaking a sound limit in World War II because it's a bit weird to think, but the Germans had fighter jets in World War II. They sort of came along too late to make that much of a bigger difference. But yeah, they had fighter jets, and the British were trying to develop a plane that would break the speed of sound, and they built the plans for it, right? And then they decided not to build it, and then the Americans broke the speed limit, so they hold the record as the first people to do it. But when 10 years later or something like that, some aircraft designers went back and looked at the Britain's plans, and they said that if they had actually flown that plane, it would have broken the sound barrier. So they could have owed the record, but they just didn't.
Not interested.
Anyway, so the US Navy had made these like planes, right? That these jet planes one of them was called the Convair FTY Sea Dart.
Oh, Convair.
Yeah, and it was like a jet that could take off on water, like a seaplane, and it could go supersonic speeds. But they were, it was part of it never got into fruition, but they made demo ones, and the idea was to launch these planes from submarines. So they stick an airplane in a big tube, like an intercontinental ballistic music, and fire up the plane into a tube, and then it would launch out of the tube into the sky. and you attack.
That is an amazing idea.
Yeah. So that was super cool. I also looked up. Somehow I got. Oh yeah, I was looking up at passenger planes that broken the sound barrier, and they tested it once with a DC-8, and they just got to go like that. But this China Airways 747, right? They were just doing a regular flight. It was a bit like that incident up in, what was it, near Exmouth in Perth. The plane just suddenly just dipped, and because the pilot wasn't paying attention, so it just plummeted to earth. And these passengers, as it dived, actually broke the sound barrier. And so as they were pulling out, because it was going down so fast that the wings started tearing off as they tried to level out, so all the wings were damaged. But the weird thing is, this was like the 1985. They repaired it, and it was working in service for China Airways till 1997. Then they sold it to this religious group who called it Global Peace One. I don't know where they get the money was, but they could pay for this 747 to fly around and deliver supplies to their missions in Africa and stuff.
Were they the ones that let off the atomic bomb up north?
No, I think it's an Indian group, not a Japanese group. But anyway, but eventually they had their license revoked. So this plane still exists. They repaired it after that incident. Then it became Global Peace One, and now you can see it on. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can see it on a tarmac at some random airport in Mexico, because it can't fly into American airspace, where it's just sitting there. It's still got the Global Peace One, in big words across the thing. It just sits there.
It can break the sound barrier, or it did?
No, it did by accident.
And you're just giving me
crashing.
It's a strange history of this.
Yeah, but then so I thought, because you'd think these planes are right. They just scrap them if they've had too much damage or after retire. But the fact that it has this continuing story and it still hasn't been scrapped yet is kind of weird for planes.
Or maybe if it's not doing anything, maybe it could be the Fangin' Around podcast.
I'm thinking, yeah,
Pirate radio style.
Yeah.
How much does a 747 cost?
I think it's pretty cheap to buy, but to repair it to you could probably buy it for $1, but the condition would be you have to repair it to flight status, and that would cost billions. Probably cheaper to buy a new 747. But you can you're allowed to fly it around Mexico. It's just you're not allowed to go into American airspace, because Mexico might not have stricter rules.
Yeah, they don't.
I was watching this show on TV, and they were talking about how in the 20s they actually sold and marketed amateur planes. So you buy a motorcycle engine, you put this kit on it, you buy a kit plane, you just in your shed, you build it, and then you just fly it around.
Yeah.
No licensing, no registration. You just do it.
Yeah.
Things were just more fun back then. Showing my age.
What? Back when you were allowed to build
You could just
amateur
build a plane
planes.
and just fly around. If you killed yourself, yeah, you probably would, but that's your risk.
But you can still build planes. There are still people who build their own planes.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's quite expensive, and you can buy kit planes. This was I was under the impression it's
Quite a cheap thing.
cheap and relatively simple,
Yeah. Not even like a kit car, really.
No,
They're quite expensive.
more like a kit bicycle.
Yeah. Even kit cars are so expensive.
They're $20,000, $30,000.
For what, though?
Like a Caterham?
I thought we went through this. I thought it was a lot more than that.
No, was it? Maybe that's for the car and you got to buy your own engine or something?
Yeah, probably. You provide whatever engine you want. So you get a little Volkswagen Up 3-cylinder 1-litre engine and put it in there.
Is it? That's what it is?
Yeah.
You buy a motorcycle with a bigger engine than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course you can.
Question of the week.
But you could buy a car with a bigger engine than a motorcycle for it.
Someone should put that engine in a motorcycle. Actually, that'd be pointless. You just buy a motorcycle with a better engine than a better motorcycle.
Maybe you could pimp the Volkswagen Up by putting a bigger motorcycle
just get
engine in
a Hayabusa
there.
engine and put it in there.
See, the possibilities. And it's manual as well, so it's only manual.
Really?
Yeah, they're only releasing it as manual because they want to keep the costs right down.
Oh, I thought that would be bad because aren't they just going to sell it to sort of young women who mostly drive automatic?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know why in this day and age automatics are so expensive.
yeah,
More complicated.
Well, they're making automatics more and more complicated.
The iPhone, the iPad is really complicated, but they got that down to $500.
Yeah, that's true. But everyone
Everyone expected the iPad to be $1,000.
I mean,
I think cars and computers are a bit different.
but why?
Because he's a lot more moving parts than a car.
But
especially
the idea is that
automated
you now have
transmission.
these really advanced factories in China that can pump the crap out of this stuff.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know, really cheap.
circuit boards, not cars. I mean, you need a machine to build a car.
But like automatic
But that's what
gearboxes
they-
now are all like 7-speed automatic gearboxes with dual clutch. You know, so it's not like that old Jag I had was that was like a top range vehicle at the time. That had a 3-speed automatic gearbox.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's not like we've gotten really good at making 3-speed ones. We've gotten good at making 7-speed dual clutch ones that are like
No, but you're talking about what's on the latest Ferraris, right? Like a paddle.
no, like a Volkswagen Polo has a dual clutch.
But isn't that just trying to?
But with an
driving-
electric car, right? You just go.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So-
why I'm excited about the electric up.
Yeah.
That's going to be
No gearbox.
pure torque.
I did get to see that video of the Tesla S versus the
BMW
M3.
M5.
M5.
Yeah, did you see that?
No,
Yes.
who won?
Tesla S.
Yes. Although it
First to
seemed
60.
the BMW seemed to catch up at the end, so I wonder if they just made the race short enough so that
Yeah,
it
so let's
won
say
before.
Well, it was first to 60.
So that's not a
Yeah.
real race.
Well, you know, that's one of the benchmarks that's often used in vehicles is first to 60. So they're saying, you know, there's lots of other things that the BMW is better at. Obviously, it's got a higher top speed. You know, you can drive it for longer and things like that. But, you know, lots of cars, it's like a bragging thing. It's like, you know, what's this 0 to 60 speed?
Yeah, that's
And
true.
for this, it's like the first ever electric performance sedan beats the kind of gold standard internal combustion engine performance sedan. You know, and this is like the first generation of this car. You know, they've been making the M5 for like 20 years or something. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like it's the same sort of thing that you were saying about the electric motorbike.
Yep.
That model where they're kind of all going, wow, you know, if this is what we're doing in the first generation, and the thing is, like, you know, the gap in between this Tesla and the next generation, right? So the first generation of electric vehicles and the second generation is going to be so much bigger than the gap between the current generation's internal combustion engines and the next generations.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to make a huge leap like they've, you know, it's just they're kind of refining things constantly.
But don't they need like a quantum leap in batteries?
But batteries are always getting smaller and lighter
No,
and
but
cheaper.
like a new
and-
technology like lithium ion's not gonna.
Harry's back.
Well, the video is delayed, I guess.
Oh, hey, he's back. Cool. Sorry, no, I was just checking. I could see you in the background. I wasn't sure what you were doing.
So, you know, I kind of wish that we did Fangin' Around like 2 years ago. We would have been doing it for 2 years ago because I was going to ask as one of my questions of the week is like, what's your summer projects?
Oh,
Move to Colorado.
work.
I think the summer, the whole
Oh,
concept.
because you're leaving quite early. You're leaving straight after New Year's Eve, pretty much, aren't you?
January, yeah, early January. So the whole summer of Fred concept, I think I'm finally going to have to just bin it. It's never worked.
Because every year, let's run through. Every year, Fred promises that this year will be the year of the summer of Fred.
But you finally finished uni. This is your
Yeah,
gap,
and I got
summer.
a job. I mean, last year was the closest thing to the summer of Fred, but I went to Europe and it was winter, so it didn't work.
Right, so you've got 1 month, December, to piss it up.
I got to work.
Fred, before you go, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to finish that bike.
Which
I
one?
picked that up from the tip.
I can't. I don't have time. Dad's making me throw it
All my
away.
hard work. You got to
Oh,
finish
you
that.
spent like 5
I
minutes.
want to see that on the road.
Oh, I'd love to. I just don't have the time.
Oh, pox on that.
Pox on that. You got loads of time.
I guess I'll give back the Xbox, and then I'll have heaps of spare time.
Yeah. James, take away his Xbox.
Or we could buy your own, then Campbell could have the other one, then we could play
Yeah,
multiplayer.
for like 2 months. No.
So you just keep the Xbox, that's what you're saying.
I wouldn't play it anyway.
Yeah, so you would play it anyway.
So, yeah, what were you going to say? What are summer projects? I don't know. I'll have to see. I'm probably working on my book.
Yeah, same.
It's a big project.
You're writing
working
a
on the
book now.
No. Well, no. I mean, same as usual. You don't have a special.
No,
this
it's
summer I'm
ongoing.
going to do this.
No, because it's just I've still got stuff left over from winter and autumn and spring. It's the same project.
Because you finished up doing up your apartment, haven't you?
Yeah. There's
You
a
don't-
few
you don't
little
have
things,
stuff
but
to
it's
do
not.
on
No,
that.
no. That's all under control.
Because I got one of mine is that the wall, this down wall I've got to...
Oh, what, the render?
The rendering.
Yeah, because I started
It's a
it
terrible idea
in
to do it
March.
in summer.
It was my summer project. I came home because I was staying down south, so I didn't get to do it as my summer project last year. So now I've bought all the stuff ready to go, so this is my summer project. What about Harry?
Do you have a summer project?
Obviously, it's winter for you there.
Get PhD.
It's winter. PhD.
Yeah.
PhD. How's
The
it
only
going?
project.
Is it going to be a PhD or a thesis or what's
Masters.
masters?
It's going to be a thesis, and then it's going to be a PhD.
Sweet.
Awesome.
I believe in you. You can do it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Go, Harry.
Yeah. I better start working on it soon.
Can you hear
I'm
us,
hoping
Harry?
to get a job as well in the meantime to pay for that
Yeah,
trip.
it's a bit better.
Where are you going to get a job? Spotlight.
Yeah.
In the store. You're not front room material for Spotlight.
Oh.
Well, part of that reason is because my 2009 summer project was to get fat.
That's not a...
And so I did that and it worked. I achieved my goals there.
Why did you want to get fat?
Because I could never get really skinny, but I got to the point where women would accidentally mistake me for a skinny guy, and then they'll get disappointed when they found out, oh, he's a fat guy.
I don't
So what I
understand any
had
of
this
that.
idea that if I became a fat guy, then people would accept me as a fat guy.
That's the most ludicrous thing I've heard.
First up, no, but it worked, Fred. Worked.
What's the point? You don't mind being.
I got
You
more
don't mind
action.
people thinking you as a fat guy.
I got more action in 2010 than I had done in the 3 years before. So it worked.
So you're saying you should get fatter?
No,
become
but now
obese.
that's the point that, like, you know, I got sort of sick of that.
Too much action.
I got sick of that.
It became a hassle.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
out.
It
It's
wasn't
worn
the. Yeah, it wasn't the actions problem. It was the emotional baggage dealing with that.
Dealing with all the
Yeah.
women throwing
Yeah.
themselves at
Yeah.
you.
Literally,
Crying.
that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
So now it's time. Well, it was probably time
To get
that-
buff. To get, like,
so-
huge
so you're gonna-
biceps.
So you. So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You were women kept thinking you were skinny and then being disappointed when you were
accidentally.
fat. So then you got
Because, you
fat.
know, we
So then you got too
Yeah.
much action.
and it worked.
So now you got to go back to being skinny.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you hearing all this, Harry?
Yeah, I'm getting it. This is
It's
got
pretty hilarious. So
But doesn't that mean you should get even fatter to get even more action?
no, but I hit a point where I just don't feel healthy. So now I've got to go try and get back to my weight in 2009. So that's what I'm doing.
But that sounds like the ultimate choice. You could either be fat with action or skinny and just no action.
Well, I've now decided that I'm going to be alone forever, so I don't care. So I had my fun. I had my Summer of James, which was 2010, and 6 months into 2011, and now it's ended, and now I've been putting it off for 18, well, almost a year now to get back. So I've got to start. So I have. So my idea is discussing the show is like a new segment will be: has James kept up with his routine?
What's the routine?
Well, this is the funny thing, is right.
GTL.
Yes. You with a tan, James. Watch out, ladies.
Yeah.
So I've started this diet, right, where I have to eat more.
Oh, no.
I tell you
Atkins
guys
diet.
about
No. Well, because what? Okay, so
bag of cans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, there's a bunch of podcasts I've listened to have started doing this, right?
No. Oh, no.
Oh, James.
Because that's it. You can either do the only two successful diets I've seen find is the Atkins diet or the the just like portion control diet, right? Which is I'm doing the portion control diet, right? And basically what happens is you you get an app on your phone and you just put in every meal that you have and track what you eat, and it tracks it and works it out, and it calculates like what level you have to stay at to sustain weight loss, right? And what happened is I started doing this. I started tracking what I ate, like a few weeks ago, right?
Mm.
And I was overcompensating, as in I would, I wasn't sure if I was eating 40 grams of this, so I just put 50, just rounded it up, always rounding up just to be conservative, right? And it turns out I was consuming on average, like about 1,100 to 1,200 calories a day, right? Mm-hmm. And the recommended intake for me, this app is calculating, right, is I have to consume, they say I should consume 1,700 calories a day. So I was like, why, if I'm just using 1,000 calories a day, why am I not losing weight, right? So I went Googling, and turns out that is, because that is the first question everyone asks on this site that does that, right? That's because obviously some people do that. Turns out if you don't eat at least 1,200, more than 1,200 calories a day, right, your body doesn't have the energy to break down fat. So you don't lose any weight, and then you gain it on the days that you binge out, and have over things. So what it does, the idea is you track how much, basically you have to work out how much you burn a day and eat to sustain weight loss. Supposedly you eat 500 calories less than that. So based on what you put into the thing, I burn 2,200 calories a day. So I'm meant to eat 1,700 calories a day to get things, but I'm only eat 1,100. So I've got to eat more, supposedly, to get up to that. And if you exercise, you burn more. So the more the exercise, obviously the more you eat, because you have to keep going, hitting that 1,700 target.
Shouldn't you eat, but you got to eat healthier as well, right? You can't just eat more. Like more fresh vegetables, more fruit, more
nuts, seeds, grain.
Well, that's advisable, but it's purely
you can look at what you're eating, and it tracks, because it tracks. It's really cool. You're looking at the canned food thread. One of the reasons I'm trying that is because this app has a barcode scanner that's linked into the Woolworths database. So anything you get at Woolworths, you just scan in, and you work out how many serves of that you ate, or you can measure it by the gram if you want, and it just calculates for you. And I was a bit skeptical about this. So I checked it out, and it seems to work.
Have you lost any weight?
Yes. Well, since I've, after not for the first 2 weeks of just measuring it and eating 1,100, 1,200 calories a day, didn't lose a thing, right? So, and then the past 2 weeks from eating more, I've lost 2 kilos, and I'm meant to be. My target is 0.9 kilos a week. That's my healthy limit. So I can lose up to 1.5 without being. Yeah, it depends on,
The body freaks out.
So it's working, I think. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
But this is the new segment, as my current, you guys are going to be like, how's it going?
You should also shadow Hugh.
Yeah.
No.
When he goes to the gym and stuff.
But that's what all he does. That's his entire life.
Well, yeah.
Right, but I want to do other
Well,
stuff.
maybe just like an hour a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to do shadowing one day a week.
Yeah, but then you have to eat more.
But
Yeah.
I'm
protein.
already struggling to eat the 1,700 calories a day.
Imagine how precise with your app you could be if it was pure protein powder.
Yeah.
All the stats are there. It would just
The
not.
white eggs. James,
Yeah, but I already ate more.
do you have one of those apps that'll tell you when you need to poo, like optimum toilet time?
No.
Do you remember do you remember?
Yeah, I want to find that audio, James, because that was the funniest. How you want an app that tells you when to drink and when to rub one out.
Yeah.
Harry, how's your weight going over there? Because usually in the winter months people kind of put it on a bit.
And Scottish food.
And all the delicious new foods.
Yeah, I've been eating quite a lot, but because it's all delicious new food.
Are you tubbsing out a bit?
But I don't have a set of scales, so I couldn't tell you.
First day I arrive in America, I'm buying scales and I'm weighing myself. And I'm going to tweet.
Oh, but that's the other thing.
And then it's going to be locked in, and I got to make sure that
I
when
don't have
leave,
enough money,
it's the
but you
same.
can get a scale that tweets for you.
I invented that a month ago.
Yeah.
And the
and
number
what
one
I'm-
fan is like, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Nobody wants to have you tweet your
No,
scale
because
tweet. And I'm like, that's the
what
best
people are
idea.
doing, because you put it on your Twitter feed, people can track it, and then if you're like, oh, you're being naughty,
Yeah,
you've gone
exactly.
up. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, my good ideas.
And, well, they haven't done it yet, but supposedly eventually these scales will link into my app as well. So you'll, you know.
so you just
Wow.
need one of these for booze.
Because that's the problem, is my
and
scale doesn't
wanking.
work. Like, I'll go on 2 different, I'll just get off, get on, and it'll be like 2 kilos different.
Oh, it's
you know?
bad standardization.
Well, that's what I'm trying to standardization.
Wow. So, losing weight, getting buff.
So
Are
you're-
you
well, I'm not
going
getting
to
buff.
do any fitness work, cardio
Are you
work?
going to get buff, James?
Yeah, get buff.
No,
get
I'm just
buff,
doing
it'd be
the same
hilarious.
amount.
You should get buff.
No.
It'd be
Campbell, are you
hilarious.
getting buff? Like, I heard that was your summer project on the Twitter
Oh, that's
sphere.
right. Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah,
you're like,
I have been talking
You had this
about-
dilemma.
Well, I had the same sort of dilemma.
What?
It's funny because independent of James, I've been
You were
feeling...
getting too much action.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't get anything done. No, just I feel I'm kind of a little bit on the sitting on the fence.
Of what?
Well, I'm not tubby, but I'm not thin either.
Yeah.
You're just kind of normal.
Just normal. And I feel I've been on the fence for too long. I either need to get really skinny and look, have the look, or bulk out and get super buff.
Buff or fat?
No, buff, like protein shakes, kind of.
Well, at the moment, I'm doing
You guys got me all concerned.
And
Maybe I
I'm,
should start
at the
thinking
moment,
about
I'm
it.
just.
I need to
doing-
commit.
Get,
It's
well,
too
Fred, get one of these
wishy-washy.
apps. We should do it as part of the podcast.
Look, you get thin, I'll get buff.
That leaves me
no,
with
but you
getting
can
fat.
use this. People who want to get buff, right, use this app as well, because you have to eat more to be able to thing.
buff.
Because if you don't eat enough, right, the reason what happens, the energy, because you don't have enough energy to burn fat. If you eat under 1200 k's, it burns your muscle, right?
Oh, you get.
So this app, when you put it in, you say you can set a goal. So I say I want to lose, because it's American units. I want to lose 2 pounds a week, right? You can have you can go up to I want to gain 2 pounds a week, and that's for people who are trying to build mass.
Yeah. Harry, what are you going to do this winter?
I'll
With
probably
your body.
become like a marathon runner.
Oh, okay.
Super fit.
Sinewy.
But that's why,
Great cardio,
so
yeah.
I'm doing just cardio because in case we have to run away from zombies on December 21. So
I don't believe in
I'm
zombies.
going to do the cardio
Neither
thing
do I.
until December 21.
What do
and
you
see
do for
happens.
cardio?
Like running?
Just like run.
You're going to do it or you're doing it?
That's what I'm doing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
How's your toe, though?
Oh,
Well, no, I'm just doing the same amount of running that I did for hockey to get fit for hockey, but I'm just not going to stop this summer. That's my idea. Because normally I just stop doing anything in the summer.
Cool.
Well, I'm going to start riding my bicycle too.
But the thing is, if you eat, the more you do that, you have to eat more. And I can't afford to eat more. It's too expensive.
Oh,
Unless you eat junk food.
protein powder.
no, just get
Get a job.
You've got a
James, you
job.
should get some chickens for the backyard.
Yeah.
Free
Yeah, eat
food.
their eggs.
Yeah.
Isabel did that.
We
She
had
figured-
one for
she
a
did the
week.
maths. It's $6 an egg. So don't do that.
That's like my fucking fruit trees in my backyard. If I do the math, it's like I got one pear out of my pear tree. So that was like a $60 pear.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah,
that
but
taking
in
down
the
the
future,
water?
next year you get 2 pairs, and the year after that you get 3, and it'll go up into.
Hey, did I tell you, Harry? My parents'
100 pairs.
mandarin tree fruited for the first time this year. They've had it for 9 years, and it's never fruited.
You know what you got to
once.
do, and this might sound a little not grotesque.
Shit on it.
Bury an animal under it, because our mandarin tree didn't do jack, and then
We've got 2 Douglas mulberry, and
yeah,
I don't know if it still does it, but
It barks.
no, it would fruit twice a year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like we buried our old cat, both of them under our tree.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of goodness.
The mandarin tree, down the
Yeah.
back, and that fruits like crazy.
Yeah.
So just go and buy like a rabbit or maybe a fucking old cat from the pound.
Well, the mandarin tree fruited twice this year. So it's gone from nothing. And it was like a bumper. It was orange. It was crazy. So it's on now. But you reckon mine? You reckon chuck a couple?
Put something down there. Give it a bit of food, food you'd like to eat.
You know what's also
Steak.
crazy that I've noticed with this app is how much salt there is in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salt
I'm
and sugar.
always
Way too much salt.
I'll have like a really healthy day. I'm just always over my salt limit. I did read that basically you have 2 pieces of bread and that's your salt limit for the day before you even put Vegemite on it, which has an insane amount of salt. So, but
I don't believe in salt limit.
Don't you?
If 2 pieces a day takes you over your salt limit, then that's wrong.
but
Fuck the salt.
and unless you sweat
Yeah.
a heap. So my brother can have more salt because he sweats it out so much.
just get really sweaty.
Oh, just go to the sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a notebook, do some scripting.
Hang some brain. I never understood that expression.
I cannot remember the last time I heard that expression. Hang some brain. Oh. Harry, are saunas big in Scotland? Do they use them? Is it a thing there? I'm just thinking it's a cold
No, it's
climate.
not really a thing. It's not a thing.
Oh.
Nobody skis, so nobody needs to sauna.
They don't really have... Oh, I suppose they might have
They have one somewhere.
spas or something. Yeah, they have them, but I don't think it's like any bigger than Australia. They don't have like bigger ancient bathhouses or anything like that.
Are there
I'm a bit
are
disappointed.
most people in Scotland red-headed?
Not really more than anywhere else. I don't
What?
think. Maybe a little bit more than anywhere else.
Someone was telling me that the redheaded boys in Ireland are like the attractive ones. I don't know if that was true or not. There's a little bit of stigma over here though for redheads.
But in Ireland and Scotland, that's where like redheads are from, right?
Yeah,
So why
Hollywood
would it be?
always
It'd be a
seems to-
desirable thing.
yeah.
Hollywood always seems to push.
Yeah,
redheads.
it's not like undesirable like it is in Perth. Like you don't get people getting the piss taken out of for being a redhead.
So is it only Australia that redheads are knocked? Because
No,
Nah,
it's,
I
mean,
it's the States
that-
as well.
States.
they were
Anything
pushing,
probably.
you know, the Hollywood industry was pushing Julia Roberts,
But they have only have
Huge.
redheaded women, and there's like this.
and then there's now Emma Stone's like the new Julia Roberts. She's like in every movie.
You got to have one redhead on the books, right?
And Jessica Chastain.
Someone was describing it. It's not sexual
improving everything, yeah.
dimorphism, but it's like a genetic trait where it's desirable for one sex to have it, but not the other. So, like redheaded girls, yes, people desire them, but no one wants redheaded boys.
You know, I suppose it's an urban myth that redheads were dying out,
Yeah, that's an
like
urban
it's a
myth.
receding gene.
Isn't it? I thought
No.
blue eyes were
No, redheads.
recessive. Aren't blue eyes recessive?
Recessive.
We're talking
but-
about redheads.
Redheads. Blue eyes are recessive. Redheads are recessive, but they're not dying out.
But
You're not
wouldn't they
gonna-
have to die out eventually if they're recessive?
I guess we're
No, because
confusing
the
so many
genes still
people.
get passed on.
But just the probability of two.
It'd be over such a long period of time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I got the redhead gene in my
So,
family.
question of the week: do you think the world would change politically if cum tasted like chocolate?
No.
No,
No.
No.
I don't think cum really like makes it into the political scene.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there's one famous president that
That wasn't the flavour that busted him, though.
it was the power.
The power?
But if it's already enticing,
Shot up. Splattered all over the dress.
yeah. I would love someone to do a PhD on this, like,
Why don't you do a PhD?
because in the future, right, when we can genetically modify, I bet you the reason I thought about it is like you'll pick body mods, right? And would you, as a body mod, would you pick like chocolate flavored cum just to increase the chances that someone will just
Give you
blow you in if they're having chocolate cravings?
But no, I wouldn't.
Okay, so let's name a body mod that you might want. If
I wouldn't mind being able to see different like wavelengths of light and things.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'd be down for that.
Breathing underwater would be pretty cool. If that's something body modish, I don't know.
Yep.
have you seen, you know, what's in the abyss? James Cameron, and they,
Where they have the oxygen-rich liquid.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a real thing.
yeah. That blows my mind that that's real. Like, why aren't we talking about that all the time? Or why aren't we using that all? Or like, what's going on? Because they use that in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Harry, you hear me?
Yeah. You know,
You know the Ava suit.
with you.
They hop in the Ava and it fills up with water, and they got to breathe it in, and then they can breathe, right?
But then how'd you get it out of your lungs?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
So maybe
Suck
one of
it
the
out.
body mods, you would have a drain.
Yeah, holy shit, how do you get it out?
Just hack it up.
Yeah, but could you hack
Oh.
a whole entire lung contact?
Yeah.
How would you get
Contents
how would you have
up.
the lung pressure to do
Yeah,
that? You wouldn't have
That's
the
probably why
pressure.
they don't. You just answered your own question. Why are they doing that? That would be why.
No, but
But,
And you
but they
wouldn't
do
be able to
use it,
get
so how do
the
they use
liquid
it?
into
Maybe
all
it's
the
a
little
one
miniature cavities of your lung.
It goes in and
Like
that's
it'd be
it.
physically impossible. There'd be air bubbles trapped, and you just wouldn't be able to do it.
no, I mean they can pump
Yeah,
stomachs
Harry, I
out, they
agree.
can pump lungs out.
Yeah, but lungs are full of like stuff.
But you
even
can't
break
pump
it.
lungs out because people like if you get like tuberculosis or whatever, your lungs fill up with gunk and then you die.
Yeah. Well, wait, this thing's real, so why don't
Well, I
we just
wondered
do a
if
fact
maybe
check?
if it's. I was thinking maybe that it died off because it sort of hit that point where these deep sea divers that needed it, right, are sort of being put out of work by these robots that can go down and check out the pipes, you know.
I don't think anyone's being put out of work. They still prefer to have divers to do all the welding and shit.
Oh, really?
The reason they can't get people down that far because like the air in your lungs and the air in other parts of your body like crushes you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's the point. That's the idea. Is that's why they started studying to see if they could fill your body with this oxygen-rich water so that you didn't crush under the weight. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
Oxygen-rich liquid. How did they deal with it in Ava? I don't think they even talked about getting out, did they?
Oh, I think you just hacked it up and it was gross.
So
Oh,
you'd
wow.
you'd like to be able to breathe water and see different wavelengths.
Yeah, I'd like, see different wavelengths.
Like X-rays, so you can see through stuff, or just like infrared.
Yeah,
Do the whole
well,
thing from
all of it, all
radio
of it.
right through to gamma.
Yeah, imagine being
So if
able
you
to
see
watch
ray waves,
radio
can you see all the
waves.
that airport pumping
Yeah.
out stuff? Is
Oh,
that
I
the
don't
idea?
know.
Yeah, for sure. It's like these guys can get little tiny magnetic pads. I think I told you about this before. In their fingertips, right?
Yeah.
So then when you go near a transformer, which is like it's
the
on power cables, it's basically got an oscillating magnetic field, and you can feel it.
Wow.
So you can feel the magnetic fields of like a wire and stuff.
What else? Body mods.
I'd like more memory capacity and like processing capacity.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be wicked.
No sleep. It's
I did
cut
see an
sleep.
interesting article, and they were
No
talking
sleep.
about
Never tired, no sleep. Get so much done. You probably miss it though. But maybe like once on a weekend you'd be like, or like a random night, you'd be like, I feel some sleep. Like maybe like having alcohol, you'd just be like, oh, I feel like a beer. Oh, I just have a nap.
Instead of getting pissed, you'd like just go to sleep, have some crazy ass
No,
dreams,
it's
and
in-
wake up and be
you
like,
know.
"Whoa, that was fucking
I think
crazy."
if you didn't need it, you'd still kind of miss it.
I think you would.
Yes, that's what I was saying. So you wouldn't need it, but like occasionally, like if you crave some food or whatever, you'd be like, oh, I just got a little nap. Okay.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I was reading some article. They'd like proven that some drug is capable of like increasing your brain's capacity to solve certain problems, and like so they can do that. In the future, they're only ever going to make more and more drugs that are going to make you smarter and smarter. So, is it not going to be like compulsory or like just a necessity of life for everyone to take these particular drugs to make you
Almost like a vaccine, where it's just culturally accepted that to be a functioning
Yeah,
member
well, if
of
everyone else has got
society.
that level of intelligence, then if you don't, you're
Isn't there almost
You're
always
gonna fall
a
behind.
draw, like a payoff of these things? So it makes you smarter, but it also like fuck something else up. Like taking
probably.
taking like steroids makes you buffer, but it also shrinks your balls and gives you a heart attack at 30.
Yeah, but that's with misuse, I'm
So,
sure.
yeah,
but that's with misuse. There's a safe way to take steroids. There's a safe way to take steroids.
Well, I don't know. I think there isn't. Right?
Yeah, actually, probably not.
Otherwise, they wouldn't. Well,
You can take testosterone.
apparently, there's like ads in America for like just testosterone. It's just like
Yeah, but it's like how lots of women are where they go through menopause. They have all sorts of estrogen shots. And
I thought there
things.
was a study showing that that's not the best move.
No, I don't know. But they do that with men.
Yeah,
because
but,
men go through
but
like
you
a
can still
male.
do it, though. And you can do it with testosterone. Like, if you've got, like, I don't know, some disease or whatever, they often give you, like, shots of testosterone to boost your immune system or to, like, improve muscle regrowth or something. But you just can't do it long term, I suppose.
They
But can you do it long term if you've got like a ball sack problem? You could probably like.
Yeah, but that's just bringing you back up to normal, right? What would be considered a normal level of testosterone, not some super juice head testosterone level.
Sylvester Stallone.
But in the future, they could iron these bugs out, and you could be like.
Well, you can probably get an app
on
for
special
it.
occasions, like if you're going into a like important meeting or like you're like stuck on a hard problem in your PhD, like all right,
Testosterone boost.
it's like just kick it up a notch and see if we can nut this problem out.
Just drop some brain on it, right? Yeah, well, I remember Sylvester Stallone talking about in prep for Rambo 4, he was taking testosterone shots and like how it's the most awesome thing ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it give him a rush?
Well, and it also helped him get buff and.
So you're just talking about how he took steroids.
No, he didn't take steroids though. No.
Isn't steroids just artificial testosterone?
I don't know. Well, this is.
No, it's a different hormone, isn't it? It's a growth hormone, not a. I don't even know what testosterone does.
Testosterone is muscle growth hormone, no?
Is it? I don't know.
You know how I've got that cough that Fred hates.
Would you get
I don't
a body
hate it.
mod?
It's been going for like 10 years.
Well, to treat it right, I have to take, and I don't treat it, which is why I cough. Yeah, the doctor prescribes me a steroid, like like it's a nasal spray steroid. And
So is your nose super buff?
No, but apparently I was reading like the Olympic athletes have the same condition to me, but because they're not allowed to use the steroid to fix the problem, because they get done for, they get done for using steroids.
You know, I get eczema, and I get a topical steroid cream for that.
I get that for my psoriasis, but it was so hardcore. The dermatologist has to phone up like some hotline and be like, I'm going to prescribe this guy this drug. Like, it's a real prescription.
Wow, mine's pretty over the
So
counter.
does that mean you
And
have
then
like...
I got free tanning,
I don't
so
know.
basically
Yeah.
it was G&T. I was getting, like, government subsidized laundry as well.
You're going to the beach heaps.
Yeah.
That was the summer of Fred. Courtesy of Midi.
You're halfway to GTLing, Fred. GTLing.
Yeah, I know. I needed some
Someone
laundry.
to
Reason
push you to
my
go to the
psoriasis
laundry.
wouldn't let me do my laundry.
Speaking of hotlines, right? This is just a random aside, but like Gmail, Hotmail, and like .Mac. Basically the four biggest email providers, right? Serve 99% of the world's emails, right? And basically what happens is they have a hotline between each other, right? Because if just one of them slows down too much, it'll destroy the other three. So they have to keep in permanent communications because it handles 99% of the entire world's email traffic.
What do you mean it would destroy the other three?
Because
The
that would
backlog.
the backlog of people sending something, and that would just build up their storage devices until it gets corrupted, and it'll corrupt all the databases, and then it'll take weeks to back up the database and stuff like that. So it's really, they basically have to be symbiotes with each other, even though they're competing companies, because like the whole system will break if they don't cooperate with each other. Yeah, that's just a random thing.
It's pretty cool.
Other question of like,
sensitive
do you use the expression "raw dog"? Raw dog.
Never. I've never
I
heard
don't
that.
even know the context. Is it a good thing? Like, it's totally raw dog.
I think. Are you talking about like bareback sex?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Not using a condom.
Ah,
So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna raw dog. I'm gonna raw dog it tonight.
no.
No, I've
No.
never.
Okay.
I've never heard that.
I've heard
Harry,
it increasingly.
do they say that?
I've never heard of that.
It's
But-
the next big thing apparently.
But you hear it a lot.
All the
I bet you there's gonna be if there's not already a song on YouTube about raw dogging's awesome. There's gonna be soon.
I only had one more news story that did you guys hear about the guy who got kicked out of the bar in Perth for having a super mullet?
What?
You guys didn't hear this?
I did hear some rumblings.
Did you hear it about in Scotland, Harry?
I heard
Didn't
maybe
think.
it was a response, but I heard there's one bar that if you turn up to this particular bar with a mullet, you get a free Crown Lager.
This is like the opposite of that. So this is some wanky bar in Perth.
So maybe this was a response.
And he said there was quite. It was like a super mullet. I'm talking like middle of the back, like, and totally like short up the front. And apparently he was wearing like dress shoes and jeans and a t-shirt. So he went to this bar, and they did not let him in. He got into the bar, and apparently he was having a drink. And the bouncer came up to him and was like, "You got to leave because we don't want you and your mullet in this bar." And everyone's just like, "That's bullshit."
Wow.
So
what do you think about that, Fred? Is it
I think-
bullshit?
yeah, either don't let him in, or
Did they not
let him-
notice his mullet?
I don't know.
They mustn't have noticed the mullet.
It was
No,
pretty
you must have got
massive.
like word from the man up
Yeah,
top.
so
like,
one of the
Oh.
bartenders would be like, "Oh, that guy looks like a douche with his mullet. Kick him out." I think once you're in, it's like too bad.
You reckon?
Well, you can't go up to someone and be like,
What if
"We
you
don't
drop
like it."
trow and do a shit on the floor?
Yeah, that's totally fine. You're out. Because then when does it stop? I don't like your pants. I mean, they do that
but
anyway.
they do dress code.
Yeah, but once you're in, you're in. You know, it's like too bad.
You didn't- someone
double,
snuck in.
Double jeopardy.
should have been the
situation
bouncer.
where-
Should have been the door person that got in trouble. No.
Yeah, exactly. They should have. You know, it's like the guy was saying, if I was drunk and rowdy, yeah, fine. But he was just sitting there having a quiet drink, and they're like, "We don't like your mullet. Get out."
What if it was a? Well,
they
it's
have
a
a picture of
cultural
it?
thing.
Yeah, I'll find.
Oh
a
yeah.
picture.
What?
Put it in the show notes so I can link it.
I was going.
for
Yeah,
the
I was going to say, what if
listeners.
it's a cultural thing? But it is a cultural thing. But what if it was a religious thing? No, but seriously.
I worship Holden. This is
Oh,
my
okay, yeah,
sleeper.
Peter Brock, the daily Peter Brock, you know, and I make my annual pilgrimage to Bathurst, the Mecca. No, but seriously, some men have to wear turbans as part of their their religious beliefs, and when a dress code becomes a religious or a cultural signifier, then do you just have to respect that?
So this is a picture of the dude, and he's okay. He looks like a bit of a.
No, well, let's.
But you can't, you know.
I mean, he's put a lot of work into that mullet.
It's a sick mullet.
It's pretty. He's put a lot of
So-
work into his facial hair as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of sculpting.
Apparently, it
going
was 10 years. They described it in the article I read as his 10-year mullet.
on. Wow.
So has he been peer pressured to get rid of it, or is he celebrating?
Well, presumably, he's like famous now.
Well, anyway, so I assume it was a response to this. I think I'm not sure what the bar it is. So I don't want to name the wrong one, but yeah, there's one bar that they said they've got a deal now where if you turn up in your mullet, you get a free Crown Lager.
Good. That's
Yeah, but
righting a wrong.
Are you going to
The
get?
industry's righting a wrong.
When you go over to the States, are you going to grow a mullet, like to rep, Australia?
But they have but they know what a mullet is in America, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But I'm
It's
just
not
saying.
uniquely Australian.
No. But to represent Australia, be like, yeah.
This is the people are like, nice mullet. I'll be like, I don't know, mate, just normal hair for a
It's fucking everyone gets this shit.
Why isn't Harry getting his balls busted to grow a mullet in Scotland?
Well, no, but Harry's going back to his homeland, aren't you, Harry?
What are you talking? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm English.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't have to rep.
No, he's
I might
keeping it
grow a
real.
mullet. Well, because like if I go over there, I guess
Is Zoe going to be with you?
Yeah, I was thinking I could just like grow a beard and have a mullet, and then when she comes, just shave the mullet and the beard.
Yeah,
But that's not going to work because we'll be skyping.
yeah, but you can just Skype from the nose up.
Just my eyes. What are you hiding? Nothing.
You
Just I like
could tie
the
it, well, if you just face on, you could tie it up into a bun,
Yeah,
and she wouldn't know the difference.
yeah, she wouldn't
That's
see the
true.
mullet. You can hide the mullet.
It could grow.
Because the
Harry-
mullet, right? You don't need the bits that.
always
She'll
thought about
tell if
doing
you
that.
pull that around. She'll be able to tell
Yeah.
you
That's
way
the
back.
beauty of the mullet.
Mullet, you don't have to worry
Nobody
about it.
knows.
It can be sneaky. And if you're wearing a hat, you can tuck it up and
Yeah.
tuck it into the hat so no one will see it. If you got a long,
And you probably can do that with Skype because you don't have to worry about shadow because the light's coming from the screen. You don't have to worry about the shadow falling.
What? I like turn and she sees the shadow on the wall. Like
Yeah,
this epic
because normally on TV they don't like you having hats because the lights are above and you cast a shadow on your face. But because the Skype screens come from below, unless
Yeah.
you're doing some weird
glamour light.
Skype sex, and you're like,
Harry, how come you don't have a beard? I thought you'd be growing a beard in the winter of Scotland.
Yeah, no, I'm not growing a beard.
Because you rocked an
look
amazing.
exactly the same. You're going to come back from Scotland just like looking exactly
Why don't
the
take
same.
some
Oh yeah,
We
we
gotta
want
come back with something different. Be
yeah,
like,
some
"Whoa,
amazing
Harry."
beard and a kilt, and
A flavor saver. Get a flavor saver.
what's a flavor saver?
Like the little thing
Oh,
here.
a soul patch.
Yes.
Oh, they're the worst. Because when you went to
not gonna
Russia,
get a
you
soul
had an
patch.
amazing beard, Harry.
Yeah. It itches my face getting a beard, though.
Get
That's just the initial bit, though. It's just the first few days, and then
Oh, I can't get over the initial bit.
get some lotion, get some nice skin cream. What do you do about your cheeks, James? Because you are quite a angular beard style.
Yeah, it's annoying because I can't grow up. Only one side grows up, so I have to shave both of them to match each other. Otherwise, it's weird. It's annoying. I wish I had like a full beard up here, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I could, but one would be different to the other. And it would
Yeah.
look really.
Have you thought about growing a bat stash?
Yes, well, I've thought about
What's a
doing lot of
bat
things.
stash?
We had it on the podcast.
We had it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Guy, you just look up bat stash.
It's like a Batman-shaped moustache.
You might say that.
Bat.
Harry, why don't you just get a moustache?
Oh, that's the douche.
Oh my god, a bat stash is horrible.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
But like amazing at the same time,
No,
right?
just retarded. Just
Oh, come on. It's pretty amazing. What if I just rocked up with a bat stash?
do it.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be amazed?
Yeah, I would.
I would be amazed, yeah.
Yeah. And if you'd never
Oh, what
seen
about
it
a
before.
cat stash?
I haven't seen a cat stash.
Oh, look up a cat stash.
Excuse me.
I mean, the possibilities.
There's no such thing as a cat stash, Harry.
Harry
Oh,
found
well,
one.
I found some
was-
pictures.
yeah,
I
cats.
coined it a cat
Cats
stash.
with moustaches.
Oh, cats with moustaches. Oh, that's pretty cool. Cats look good with moustaches. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I want to wear a white cat so I can easily draw a moustache.
You could get some mascara on it.
Don't think I could do that.
Yeah, Harry, what about a moustache?
Movember's coming up.
I'm in pressure into doing November. I don't think I can even grow a moustache.
Have you
it a
done it before?
crack.
I can't really grow a good moustache. I don't have enough like hair down there.
I did.
Alright. It's not called a cat stash officially. It's called a monkey's tail. Look it up. I call it a cat stash. I think that's a better name.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that is amazing.
You're talking about like this asymmetric beard thing.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I want to see it from front on so I can see how... Oh, there's it. Oh, wow. Yeah. Men should get... I wish I had thicker facial hair so I could get...
Yeah, well, my mouth's too small.
Get
I would love a
adventurous.
huge moustache, but I can't do it. My mouth's too small.
What?
Like a big, thick one, but only people with big mouths can do that.
If that's how it works, but okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I should grow a big, thick moustache.
Yeah, do it, Harry. If you can do it, do it.
Actually, no, I've just got. I don't have a big, thick like line of hair. I've got it's very thin. It'd be like
Molestache.
one of those thin ones.
Molestache.
Molestache.
Can't do a big fatty.
You could try. You could just have a nice wispy one. Just a hint.
Nah, no one likes a wispy one. Like a 15-year-old boy.
Someone likes the whispers.
So this has been the Fang Around podcast. You can hit us up at fangaround.com to find our listener mail segment, and you can send us questions or answer some of the questions we've had. What do you think would happen if cum tastes like chocolate?
What body mods would you option?
Let us know.
What do you think about the Volkswagen Up?
Boo.
Volkswagen Up,
What do you think about electric cars?
electric cars.
Would you become a wizard?
What deity would you choose for yourself?
Okay, choose one for next week.
I've updated the cast page of Fang Around to have our Twitter links there, so that people want to follow us individually on Twitter, not just Fang Around. You can do that. This has been the Fang Around podcast. Please leave a review on the iTunes store if you've got some time. We've got a few reviews. Thanks everyone.
Thanks. What's your favourite types of male facial hair?
Yeah. What do you think of the monkey's tail?
Bat stash.
The bat stash.
Cat stash. It's got
Cat
a cat.
stash.
Isn't a cat stash better?
Maybe
I like cat stash
maybe at
better.
our end of year special we should have
Looks like a cat
facial
sitting
year
on
of
your
the
head.
year like awards night, and maybe we should do an awards night for the last podcast of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe best facial hair could be one of the categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
We vote.
Yeah. Like a 3-2-1 system.
Sure.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yep.
4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and don't forget, we usually record live if we're recording on Monday nights at 12:30 p.m. UTC, Universal Time. There is only one time standard on the internet.
What about beats?
Yeah, Beats time if you have it. I don't know what that is.
5:40, I think it was.
Was it 5:40? Yeah. So
And if you're going by your circadian clock, it's probably a little bit after you, while you're digesting dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go on TAE, it's about 20 seconds before.
That's it. I gotta go.
UTC.
I gotta go now. I need 1,000 calories to make sure I've got my food.
So you're just going to chug an entire can of meaty stew or whatever it is.
They're not enough, man. They're only like 250 calories.
So you have to have
That's
four
of them.
Yeah, there's a better way to do it than that, James, surely.
Well, yeah, I gotta eat more. I gotta eat like a big breakfast. That's the thing to get your kick off your metabolism. during the
Pancakes.
day.
I had pancakes yesterday.
A fried egg
It's
on
too many
white
carbs,
bread
man.
with butter.
And that sriracha chili
Everyone
sauce.
says egg whites. You throw out the yolk and just have the whites. Apparently, that's the tip.
Or
a
just
waste.
you just buy the
Just have
white
the whole
egg
egg.
white powder and add water.
Oh, right.
That's what we've been saying all night.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can cook an egg out of that.
Yeah. Or you can just drink it in a shake.
Okay, we're gotta go. This podcast has been going for ages. Thanks, Harry, for
Thanks,
Skyping
Harry,
in.
all
It's
the
good
way
to
from
hear.
Scotland.
Yep.
See you, Harry.
Good to see you again, Harry.
We'll catch you
See you
later.
guys.